You can turn it, you can pull it, you can pop it, but you can never twist it better than twisted conversation. Yeah.
All right, today on Twisted Conversations, we got a man who's probably rebuilt more engines than he has functional vertebrae, a dirt bike demon, a golf course menace, and the only engineer I trust with my life and my liver. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for the one, the only, Colby. What's going on, dude?
Don't make me start lying, Dylan. You're kind of building me up there, but I'm good. I'm glad to be here. This is a pretty impressive setup you got going on. I like
thanks.
it. I always told you, if you go and do the nerd stuff and get a podcast together, I'll be right there, and you did it.
Yeah.
Hell
Making
yeah.
it sound a little bit better. Olin, how are you?
Doing good, man. Tired. Kind of tired. As I was telling you earlier, I've been awake for like 30 hours.
Yeah. Cody?
I'm fantastic.
I was impressed with the last episode, by the way. It was good.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Told you my boy kill it.
Yeah, he did good. So, Colby, what have you been into?
Just my thing, dude. I've been riding a lot, and I don't know. When we last were hanging out, I was obsessed with golf, and it's kind of weaned off, but, I'm, cranking my hog and, golfing every once in a while.
Yeah, we need to go golf.
Yeah.
I was in the garage the other day and see my bag, and I was like, I ain't been golfing in a while.
It's there was people out. You live about 3.5 miles from the Mason course, by the way, so you don't got much of an excuse. It's in your backyard, more or less.
Yeah. Nah, I got to have a partner. I can't go by myself.
Gonna be honest, the only thing I got from this so far was he went from gripping irons to gripping iron.
Yeah.
That's all I picked up.
When I met Colby, he was obsessed with golf. He would talk to you every day, all day about golf.
Oh, yeah.
So then I told you, what was like a couple episodes ago, that when I went to South Carolina to get married, he was in South Carolina. Like, it was like 2 or 3 blocks up the road from me.
Yeah, that was like a weird coincidence.
Yeah.
Like you needed a bachelor party, but not too crazy. I was like, are we allowed to say autistic? I was like autistic on golf. Like, hey, golf this, golf that. I love golf. Would you like to golf with me? We could golf together. And so, like, I had, like, blisters on my fingers, like, from how much I was, my palm, like, blistered up. And I'm like, dude, we could get hammered in the middle of the day, and that's almost like a bachelor party. And we got to go to Topgolf after. But, yeah, it was kind of weird.
Yeah, Rocky about took like 3 people's heads off.
Your wedding, and then like my mom's vacation that I kind of tagged along with, because I can't afford to like play those courses and pay for my family to go on vacation, so I jump in with mom and make a little golf trip out of it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we went all over Myrtle Beach trying to find left-handed golf clubs, and that's kind of a hard thing to find, apparently, in the mecca of golf.
Hey Dylan, be normal. like hold the club with your left hand and swing like you could put your glove on the left hand.
So you guys were just like both in the same place?
Yep.
Yeah.
We was working together on the boat,
Which was also a coincidence because we weren't normally working together.
Yeah, and
Look, I got my wedding coming up.
yeah, and he was on the phone with his mom, and they were talking about going to Myrtle Beach, and he looked at me and asked me what dates. I told him, and he was like, "No way, I'm going to be there too." So yeah, we were only like 3 blocks apart.
Dude, that's a really weird like place and time to meet up.
Yeah,
Like
Dirty Myrtle.
we'd met a couple years before that and like worked together a few times here and there, but like we got jammed on the same boat at the I guess it was like a month before or something.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of weird.
Yeah.
But it's cool.
We had to go to a gated community to find some golf clubs for me, but I got me a nice set. I mean, for a starter set, but
Hell yeah.
yeah, we went to every pawn shop, golf store. Just wasn't
PGA
working out.
Superstore,
Yeah.
Dick's.
The only time I've had a weird like chance encounter with a friend outside of my own state, I went down to North Carolina to shoot a music video for my friend's band, and while I was down there, I was like posting about my trip, right? And then my other friends were like, "Hey, we're also in this town at a recording studio recording our new album. If you want to swing through," and I was like, "That doesn't even make sense. Why are you here?" And so, yeah, I just went and hung out with with him at like the recording studio. Right next door was a stripper car wash, and almost went through it, but decided not to because
Your car wasn't dirty enough.
they were though.
Did it make you want to steal a car to go through the car wash?
No, it made me want to go like run through the mud,
Yeah.
and I am the car.
There used to be a titty car wash in St. Albans. It's been shut down a long time, but I've heard like way before we were old enough to go. But yeah, there was that's a thing that used to be.
You know, we need to bring those back.
What?
The three of us, just us. Let's bring back, stripper car washes. I'll get some Daisy Dukes that fit all of us.
I like this idea.
Some like cut
You gotta
off.
make sure it's not short enough though.
Oh no, it's gotta be. I don't want just the
Hanging out to one side, huh?
I don't want just the pockets hanging out, brother.
There's a nuts, polished nuts. I don't know. There's a pun, but that's not it. We'll come up.
We'll get back there.
We'll get something. There's something there. There's a joke in that. A play on words.
But yeah, we was talking about golf, and yeah, Colby got me hooked on golf for a while. That's like last summer. That's all I did was golf.
I've only been twice, but I could see how you could get hooked on it.
I'm not good at it. I
Yeah, golf
slice
seems
so bad.
hard.
It's the
It's-
hardest sport.
It's lame. Like, it's expensive. It's uppity. You know what I mean? It is all the things that make it seem lame, but it's also outside, day drinking. I like the exercise aspect of it. Like, you've been with me on a walking day, and like you play an 18-hole course, and like you've walked 7 miles. I will never walk 7 miles. Like, I guess you like to hike a little bit. I heard on the last, or was that the other?
I've done quite a bit of hiking.
Like, yeah, you were
Yeah,
like
we was
hiking
in
out west or something.
Colorado.
yeah.
Like, if my girlfriend is like, oh, we're into hiking this week, like, I'll do it, but like, I'm probably not gonna walk 7 miles unless I'm chasing a ball around, So it tricks me into like exercising.
Yeah, he always walked. I took the
See,
cart.
You guys ball golf. We both disc golf.
Oh, dude.
So it's a good thing you guys are both on that side of the room. We're gonna have to fight about it. No,
I tried to get into that. I have.
It's also
I
hard.
have a couple discs. I think I just have 2 drivers. I don't have the whole
Yeah.
kit or nothing, but
Yeah.
I tried.
I have one in the garage, I think, that I found floating in the river. I picked it up.
It's one of those things that like everybody thinks that it looks easy, and then you go try to be good at it, and it's like, oh, this is.
So
There has to be a technique that's
there
like,
is.
because like I
There's
can
so
throw
much.
a regular frisbee, like, control it, drop it, and like bend it, and then like I'm like, oh, dude, I can throw a frisbee, so I can frisbee golf, and nothing translated over. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
it's a whole sport in itself.
Yeah,
I see that.
it's its own thing. Yeah,
so they
it's
have like sets of frisbees that
yeah,
are like
a putter,
discs.
like a
Mid range and driver.
yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, and
Well,
then
that's-
every disc has its own characteristics.
Okay.
So some are. Sorry, we were talking about golf. Now we're going into disc golf.
No,
but,
no. It's cool.
So some discs are more overstable. So if you throw like backhand, right-handed backhand throw is going to die off to the left. If it's an overstable disc, it's going to go more to the left. Versus an understable disc will want to go to the right and then finish off to the left. And then everything flips if you're left-handed. So there's a lot of weird. It's not as technical as actual golf.
Irregular. Left-handed. What's the proper? I didn't want to.
Dumb, I think.
Yeah, like not disabled, not like, it's not like you're any, but weird. We're left-handed. I'm just
You mean a southpaw?
kidding.
Do you mean southpaw?
Don't hit me. I was yeah.
There's some things I can do right-handed. I like shooting. What? I was a switch hitter in baseball. Come on now.
Oh my, switch it.
No, I shoot firearms right-handed. I can do that. I can't write right-handed.
Are you left eye dominant?
Like holding it right-handed, like looking out with my left eye? Is that what you're meaning?
Yeah, or just like I didn't know if they go hand in hand because like just why
I can use both sides.
both
yeah.
eyes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm right eye dominant. For
It's
sure.
I shoot pistol. Like a lot of times people like close one eye. I can just like look at it with both eyes.
I mean,
That's-
I think you're supposed to.
No, some people look down like close one eye.
But if you had to close one eye and aim down the sights with one eye,
Wait.
which eye?
There's a test, okay?
I can
Look,
use either or.
find something like as far as you can, and then put it in a circle, and then close your eyes, and whichever one it's still in the circle, that's your dominant eye.
Wait, is
But
that
the reason
real?
I was curious is Bane, my my stepson, more or less, is left eye dominant, right-handed. So when he's like looking down in the scope of a rifle, he has to like put his left eye, and I was like, "Are you left-handed or something?" Like, what is wrong? Like, what's going on here? And we found out he's right-handed, left eye dominant, which is a weird combination for shooting a rifle.
Cody, you're lefty. Mm-hmm. Which eye is dominant?
Neither.
This is the only room
It's like neither.
of 4
Actually, both
people
my
that
eyes are submissive.
is 50% lefty. What? What'd you say?
What did you say?
I said neither of my eyes are dominant. Both of them are submissive.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. Break out the switches.
That's good.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never tested it.
So you
Do the thing, yeah. Like look at my finger with your fingers there, and then like whichever one is
My left one.
So your left, yeah, left.
Mm-hmm.
See, now I don't
Yeah.
know the statistics. Pull it up, Cody. But this like when you're left-handed, sometimes you're left eye dominant. I guess you know there it is. Like
Yeah.
25% of all the people worldwide in this room right now, left-handed, left eye dominant. Think about that.
fun fact.
That's
I like that stat.
that's statistical. I wrote that.
It's also funny that you guys are literally on that
in-
side of the room with your left-handedness.
It's in the manual.
So we're in a different room recording. I had the curtains open. I had the window open. I heard a noise, and I looked out the window. It was a motorcycle. I already knew who it was, and it was Colby. What is that bike you got?
The Honda Africa Twin. Dude, I can go.
That's a sick bike.
I can go as deep or as surface as you want, but the Africa Twin was in the 80s. There's an off-road race from Paris, France to Dakar, Africa, the Dakar Rally. And Honda developed a twin-cylinder motorcycle specifically for that race, and it was maybe a little heavy, whatever. This is a remnant of that, more of an homage. Like, this thing ain't going to win Baja. Like, their version now, it has the engine out of a Honda Rebel. But it has a little suspension. You can ride it off road if you want to. Motorcycles, I can go tistic on that if deep as you want. But that's the Honda Africa Twin. That's my thing, now.
You was in the Cadillac world of motorcycles. Like, how long ago was that?
Oh, dude, it's been July's when I had the wreck, and then I went out and got the most in debt I've been besides my house. Like, I drive a 12-year-old truck. I live modestly. I have a $490 mortgage. And then I was like, dude, I need the most expensive motorcycle made that isn't a custom. I need to get, like, in debt. If y'all listen to Dave Ramsey, I was on baby step number 3. I was like, he's like, pay off everything besides your house. Like, money. And I was like, well, this is boring as shit. I need to go get a $30,000 motorcycle. And I had it 3 months and had my girlfriend on the back, and a deer jumped out in front of me on Route 62 and kind of ended that whole deal. So, man, I loved that bike.
What was it?
It was a brand new Goldwing Tour Edition. You're supposed to be 50, I guess, like middle-aged. And then you get a Goldwing, like when your back and butt hurt and you want something comfortable. But I was like, dude, it looks pretty sweet right now, like in my early 30s, and it just wasn't meant to be. So
I watched a video the other day. It was like a group of people like our age had bought old Goldwings, like late 80 Goldwings. And it just looked like a good time.
they're pretty cheap on Marketplace,
Yeah.
dude.
I might have to break down and buy a cheap
You can
Goldwing.
get an old Goldwing for 25 to $5,000, and God, they're good.
They
They're
were
good.
just smoking the tires on them things.
I guess you could say it's an old soul, but I like Buicks, or Cadillac DeVille's.
Buicks are
like
cool.
just like
For sure.
like the early 2000 it's plush, dude. You're in the lap of luxury.
I used to drive a '98 Buick Century. That thing had nice seats.
I had Cassandra had, but I love driving it. She had a 2000 Cadillac DeVille, and then my second car was a '94 Buick LeSabre. Cool fact: my grandma had a '97 at the exact same time, and I had a '94. My grandma, it was not just a grandma car; it was my grandma's car. Like I had a '94, she had a '97. But there's certain it's luxury. You know what I mean? It's gentleman stuff, class.
You want to talk about luxury cars? Not my last car, but the one before it was a '98 Volvo.
Oh.
Dude, 98 car with a 6-disc CD changer, power sunroof, power windows, power leather seats that were heated.
Ahead of its time.
Dude, for a 98, that's crazy.
That's top of the line.
Yeah. But also, it's not a Cadillac, so like.
Cassandra's 2000 Cadillac had some kind of Bluetooth. We never figured out how to work. You had to slide something in the tape deck to plug whatever. But it had the capability. It's like a PS2. Like I didn't realize that had that at the time. Or maybe what was it? N64 had a internet connection.
It was PS2.
Yeah.
It had a thing that clipped into the back, and it had an adapter. You put your landline in it.
I'll be out of my element on games. Besides, I'm a Switch.
I didn't know when I was a kid. I had a PS2 for like 4 or 5 years before I realized the logo moved on the disc tray.
Yep.
And I thought my brother broke it. And I was like, "What are you doing?" And I went over and it like clicked and it like actually moved. And I was like, "Oh, it's supposed to twist when you stood it up." Yeah.
I also had a PlayStation 2 for a long time. I started PlayStation and then changed to the Xbox when the Xbox
I think
came
everybody
out.
did. I had a PS3 for a long time, but yeah.
I never had one.
So, Colby,
Yeah.
we worked on the river.
Oh yeah.
You still do. I still do.
Yeah.
What are you doing now?
I am a fleet engineer, which basically the industry-wide definition of an engineer is twice in one hitch. That's the only way. Whenever they offered me that position, I was like, what in the hell does fleet engineer mean? Like, is this some kind of crap? Because we know it as like a chief or a deck engineer, but I don't even want to say that. You said nothing, try not to limit swearing, and deck engineer is a swear word.
Yeah.
Like it's a terrible, it's inhumane. But we know like that under a certain tonnage and horsepower, they're not required to have a full-time engineer. So every 40 days, the 2 boats that I ride get 10 days of engineer. So you hop on, fix everything broken, you do a service, and then crew change, clean up, and then you're on another boat doing that twice in a hitch. So it can be stressful a little bit, but it's a lot better than what I was doing, which is, decking and engineering at the same time, which is rough.
Yeah, what I do now.
Yeah, it's rough.
It's just a glorified term for a deckhand with. Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Are you liking the switch?
I really do, man. I do.
I miss seeing you around.
I know. It was odd. It was, I got a little. It was a mixed up time switching companies. I mean, it's all I knew for 10 years. It's the only thing like resembling a career. And then I was like, well, I'm gonna change it all, and we kind of did it at the same time. Yeah. like you were switching. And I was like, well, yeah, if Dylan's switching, then maybe it's.
A lot of people did. It wasn't just us.
Yeah, and So. But I'm happier. It is a lot better.
Yeah. Cool. You went from golf. You went over to back to the dirt bike side again.
So I wouldn't say dirt bikes. Like I raced once again this winter. I try to like race once a year at a local race to like prove that you can be overweight and not train and then still ride pretty fast, and then just kind of like see where I'm at on that, how old I am. And 1 year ago, this last winter, there's a little horse arena cross track over in Jackson. Or I'll do that or a fair race, and the big leagues, like the high stakes, like almost Supercross practically, except it's in a barn and But anyways, and I was somehow worse than when I took a 3-year layoff. I don't. Sometimes you're on and sometimes you're not, but
that's racing.
Yeah,
in general.
Yeah, so it's just something that like if you really want to do it, you got to do it. And my career in life, you can't ride a dirt bike all the time where I'm at now. So I just like to, you know, but you can ride my Honda Africa Twin on dirt. You know what I mean? I wouldn't call it a dirt bike, but I'm kind of dipping my toe and getting into like adventure touring and camping, like moto camping.
Yeah, you showed me a map.
I have a chair that is like this big. And I don't know how to put it together. So
We learned that. Yeah.
That's probably the coolest part. Like, you're like, you have to sit on this metal chair, and I was like, wait, I brought my own. Like, and I'll figure it out. But so that's instead of like going as fast as you can for as long as you can until your arms give out, and then you might wreck and like not be able to work. What you do is like just ride on gravel and go really far. So I don't know. It's a new thing. It's adventure touring. It's you know what I mean? I'm old.
Yeah.
So that's my thing.
So you've been riding a while. When did that start for you?
I didn't have a choice. It started whenever my dad decided at 41 to force my mom to have a kid at 39. Like, she slid in right before menopause. And my dad had already raised 2 national level, like, motocross and hill climbers. Shout out to my brunkles. Like, my brothers, I call them brunkles because the youngest one was 20 when I was born. And I'll do it. My dad's probably something to this effect. Like, Patty, you're 39. It's right there at the end, and you need to experience the splendors of motherhood. And I can give you a baby. And forced it to race motocross from the second he starts walking.
That went a little Hank Hill.
He kind of sounds like that. I'm not really good at impressions, but you know, dude, I wish you could have met my dad. He was. If we called my mom right now and asked her the craziest person she's ever met, and she's like, I married him. Like, he literally, I don't even. They don't have names. He had a bunch of stuff, but one of them was dirt bike autism, or dirt bike savant, and just to, you know, I'm not like making light or, you know, doing inappropriate crap or whatever with saying that all the time. I just mean like obsessive, you know, like the definition of it, like, you know, like and he spent every penny, every waking moment, and pushed me as far. Like, I credit anything I did in that with just him, because it was like him living through me.
Right.
So anyways, yeah, when I was 4 is when, well, I had a bike before that, like, but I started racing when I was 4, and just, it kind of, it's always been there.
Well, you said your dad did, what was like, champion or whatever? What was he doing?
Well, way before I was born in 1980, he would tell you he was national champion, but they had a race called the Invitational and Pro Hill Climb. And before we get into this too deep, you like Formula One racing?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, you know MotoGP, right? Like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
sport bikes. All right. Formula One is MotoGP.
Right.
NASCAR is motocross. Like,
Right.
that's what you're gonna see on TV, and like, you know, the most, like, you know, Jeremy McGrath. That's your Dale Earnhardt. What I did was Monster Jam. Like, Pro Hill Climb is like these freakishly powerful, custom built. They run on nitromethane, and they primarily use the engines out of crotch rockets. So, like, you can't go buy them at a dealership. They're custom built, and it's really redneck. Like, you know, it's people, I mean, it's becoming a science, you know, like, but it's been around longer than any motorsport. Like, they've had a professional series for hill climbing by the AMA, the American Motorcycle Association, since 1947. And then before that, they were... you know, the early days of Triumph and Harley, like, since the turn of the century, like 1900, they've been riding bikes up hills. And my dad did it professionally for a couple years back in the late 70s and into the 80s. And he did it, he was a Vietnam vet, and he came back from Nam at 21 and saw a guy riding a motorcycle at a place he worked. I don't remember the specifics, but he's like, man, I'd like to try that. And then within 8 years, he was at the top of professional hill climb, which, you know, motocross, supercross, that would have been a kind of a lofty, kind of impossible goal. Nobody starts riding at 20 and then turns pro. But hill climb, there's a certain aspect of just holding it wide open, like just being, balls and luck. So he was a pennant, and like he would win some and he would wreck. And then oddly, my riding style was way more conservative. Like if I knew I was going to wreck, it was like I would try to tell myself to, keep it latched back, and then I'm just checking up. Like I had a safety net block in my brain of doing stuff like him. But so short story long, motocross like is the NASCAR thing. Like that's like what everybody wants to do. Like that's the sport of motorcycles. Like and I just wasn't good enough. Like I tried, and raced a lot to be anywhere near pro at that, and then I got into racing pro hill climbs because I quit riding more or less. Like I went away to college and like couldn't keep riding, and Dad was like, "Well, we can do pro hill climb," and I was like with the crotch rockets and stuff, like with the big like pro hill climbing, and then he's like, "Yeah, I'll have a guy build you a bike," and then we were there, and it started. I mean, not to, it's kind of easy, I mean, compared to. I mean, you have to put in. You basically have to be homeschooled and put in. It's not to get into it too deep, but motocross is like being a professional gymnast with the added motorsport risk aspect of it. Like they're athletes.
Trying to get into Formula One is kind of the same thing. Like you're starting out like karting,
Yeah.
like doing go-karting, like at
Four.
a young age. Like basically, if you don't start karting at like 6, you're kind of probably never going to make it in Formula One.
The top 40 amateurs, most of them are homeschooled in every class from, like the 4 to 6 class, the youngest that you can compete. Yeah, I mean, you could maybe make the top 40 in the nation in 30 plus with a regular job, like if you've raced your whole life. But, and then to be in the top 40 in amateur, there are only 40 in pro. Like they cut the outdoor nationals off at a 42-man gate and the supercross is off at 22. So if you're not one of those 22 to even compete, that's it. I mean, like everybody knows how competitive like getting in the MLB or NFL is. They have like backups and third strings. Like there's 100 people on a team. There's 42 people racing professional motocross at the highest level and 22 in supercross. So, but yeah, anyways, like when that wasn't realistic anymore, I started playing sports in high school and stuff. We got into professional hill climbing, and yeah, that was I spent 4 years kind of just doing that.
I feel like people don't realize how few people are like doing motorsports in general professionally.
Oh yeah,
Like, because there's like, 42? Is that what you said? Total?
that's for outdoor pro motocross, and then 22 to
Yeah,
be
like-
in the main event of a
Like,
supercross.
Formula One is just 20 people.
Yeah.
There's only 20 people on the planet that are racing in that classification right now. Like, I don't know how many is in NASCAR. I don't like NASCAR personally.
I don't follow it close enough to tell you.
I like tracks with some turns.
I really don't know either.
There's more, but it's probably closer. It's somewhere between 20 and 40. I don't think it's any more than that. But yeah, motorsports in general just does not have like that many options in comparison to like if you want to like play for the NFL, like you have like I don't know how many teams there are. I don't watch sports. There's a lot of teams and there's a lot of players on those teams. And then like you said, like backups and everything like that.
There's a financial barrier too with motorsports. Like also,
Dude.
like, if you're not rich enough to like, like the system now, like to be a really good amateur is, you're making $1 million while your wife is homeschooling your kid in a camper at these training facilities in the South,
Yeah.
and they're riding 7 days a week. That's motocross.
Yeah, motorsports in general.
So when did you start?
What riding at all?
Like riding in, you did the hill climb. When?
2009. Like I said, it was my freshman year of college, and the reason that it made sense was, like I said, you don't have to be in that kind of shape. You don't have to ride that
Right.
much. You just have to show up and do it on the days. And the East Coast Pro Series is primarily in New England. They swing out to like Wisconsin. I'm not sure exactly where all the rounds are now. I don't follow it that much, but and Dad leaving here on his way could pick me up, or I could meet him and hit all those races. And you know, they're on Sundays. They're over in a day, and then I would be back to college.
I got you.
So
What a wild thing to get into as a freshman in college.
yeah, like I was getting into some other stuff too, but that was what I did on Sundays.
Do you know how? So like, I chit chat with these guys, and I was telling them about who I wanted on here next. You know how I introduced you to them? There's a YouTube video of you at Skatopia.
Oh yeah, that's another chapter in my dirt bike thing.
Yeah.
I don't do shit like that much, but that is something I'm sort of proud of. Basically, whenever I retired, which, dude, Dad was an alcoholic. I'll just, not sugarcoat it. And he would get blasted drunk at all these races and say crazy shit and do crazy shit. And we never got along that much because, like, I was like, if we're here, let's kind of take this serious. And he's like, oh. So, anyways, he retired me. It's a long story. I rode for another team while simultaneously riding for him. Like, he fired me as his rider, and I got a ride for another team for 2 years before we, stopped doing professional hill climb. But the first summer that I was missing a pro hill climb in 4 years, and I was like, dude, I'm really not doing this. I wandered out to Skatopia because I saw the Netflix documentary on it. Mm-hmm. And I was like, dude, Meigs County, Ohio isn't even that far away. Like, that's how I found out what Skatopia was my buddy showed me this movie. He's like, you never heard of Skatopia? Check this out. And I was like, dude, this is crazy. Like, there's like a anarchist cult in a gigantic skate park in the middle of the woods, and I'm going to go out there and see what they're doing out there. And then on the movie, the outdoor bowl was about 40 feet wide, and they had a dude on a freestyle bike, like, jumping it and doing hill clickers. And I was like, dude, if that jump's still there, I would do that. And, well, so I was like, Meigs County. I looked up the address and drove out there, and a dude that his hippie cult name was the Sheriff greets me and is like, hey, man, what's going on? And I'm like, oh, dude, I watched a movie about this place, and I was just coming out here to check it out. And he's like, okay, dude, I'll give you a tour. Do you have any money? And I had $6 on me, and I was like, I got $6, and I give it to him, and he goes, all right, yeah, dude, I'll give you the full tour, dude. And we toured the grounds, and if anybody, just Google, YouTube Skatopia, and any video that pops up, like, this is an anomaly. It's a weird, very weird place. But so he's giving me the tour. He shows me the indoor bowl, the outdoor bowl. They have an airplane hangar with it's called the Church of Skating. Mm-hmm. And it's a wild place. They have a skate museum there. And he's like, I'll give you the full tour. And then when we get to the outdoor bowl at the top of the hill, he's like, dude, did you say you raced dirt bikes before? And I was like, yeah, I raced professionally until, like, this month. Like, there's a race last weekend. It's the first one I missed in 4 years of pro hill climb. He's like, you should jump the bowl. Like, we made it twice as big, and we had a guy, like, 10 years ago jump it, and nobody's jumped it now. And then, like, so I look at, the layout of, like, what he's talking about, and I'm like, dude, I think you could jump this just the way it is. Like, there's a big dirt mound up to the combing, and then kind of a hillside to land on, and I was like, just like working it out, and like I was like, how big? How do you know how wide? I don't know, like fucking, it's this wide, like you could see it. And I was like, dude, I think I maybe could jump this. So I had a freestyle ramp that I got as a Christmas present. I could go as deep into motorcycles as whatever, but for a summer before I was getting into high school, we did a jump at like over cars at the racetrack in Fairplain at the dirt track, and a freestyle demo at the Mason County Fair. So we had a freestyle ramp that was just like out at the farm, and I was like, dude, if we could like dig into this hillside and cram a freestyle ramp there, I know what speed to hit it and how to jump it, and I wouldn't be like, with dirt and building your own jump face, there's geometry, like, you know what I mean? So I knew I had a ramp that would jump 100 feet. So like, I was like, I'll come back and like measure this. And we couldn't find a measuring tape long enough to decide how long it was, but I was like, it looks doable. Like, I'll figure this out. And so I came back out and figured out how far it was, and then I have to go home and tell Dad what I'm doing. So, like, he was day drinking at the time. Like, this was before he found out he had liver cirrhosis. So, like, I was like, yeah, if I catch him at, like, 3 beers, he's not going to go off, okay? But if we go to 12 beers, he's going to try to kill somebody. So I catch him at, like, 3 beers, and I'm like, Dad, there's an anarchist commune out in the woods in the middle of southern Ohio, and they want me to jump over the skate bowl there. He's like, what the fuck did you just say? And I was like, yeah, they're like a bunch of hippie skateboarders that like live off the grid out there, and I need to. So I had a 4-cylinder Tacoma, and the ramp was mine by like that he got it for me, for Christmas. So I'm like, I got a ramp in a truck. I need to borrow his trailer and maybe his skid steer. We need to. So I got to get him on. And he's like, what in the fuck are you talking about? But I was like, yeah, it's only like 9 days. They're having this big bash, like bowl bash. And, I could do a big jump because that was Dad's thing, dude. Like, a big-ass jump. Like I said, he was the hold-it-wide-open type dude, and I was the conservative. Like, I was a kind of a pussy. Like, for putting the amount of time that I did into motorcycles, I kind of came up. I mean, I was just naturally terrible at it, but there was no chance I was going to be terrible at it because of just him. So, like a big ass jump was up Dad's alley, and he was like, all right, we'll go look at it. And he kind of went above and beyond. Like, we went out and dug a place for the ramp, shoved it in the hillside, and he graded down the landing, cleared a bunch of brush, and a little side point we'll go back to later. He covers up a drainage ditch that the owner had dug out. So anyways, Dad's in on it. He brought his truck and trailer with the skid steer, and I got the ramp over there, and we got it all set up. And it's Wednesday before the biggest party that they host there, like a big old fucking stinky smelling hippie bash with a lot of like, there's a dude with a briefcase going around selling ketamine and like a little bit of everything going on. And it's bowl bash, and my alcoholic 7-year-old father's and me and my mom even showed up, and we're out there. But Dad's like, all right, now we got it set up. You got to practice. And this is like Wednesday evening right at sunset time. And I'm like, I was just going to like jump it for the thing when the people are here, because this is not like every other jump that we'd done. We would show up a day or so early, and then you'd start at like 30 feet, move the ramp back 30 feet, to 60 or 100 or whatever, the jump is. This one, there's a skate park in the middle, and then the very tip top of the landing is a bus, like literally a bus in the... So he's like, if you don't practice this, I'm gonna fucking load this up, and I'm out of here, and we ain't doing. And I'm like, okay, dude. So I put on my gear, and where the ramp was sitting was on a road, like 12 foot wide roughly, and the whole run up was just on a slight incline. So I'm running through the field, and I'm in 4th gear where you don't have a lot of torque. And then I just feel the suspension lift when I'm finally like, this go time, I'll hit it, and like, there's not a lot of throttle response in 4th gear. So like the suspension unloads, and I'm just kind of floating in, and I give it everything it has in 4th. And there's a bus sitting on the landing 120 feet across from me. So I'm up in the air higher than I've ever been. I jumped close to that far, but not on a freestyle ramp. Like, the ramp's made to jump 60 or 80 feet, and anything beyond that, it's sending you so high. It's not a distance, ramp. So I'm just floating, and I'm like, okay, I think I cleared the gap. Like, we're good. Like, why am I so high? And like having a panic attack up there, and I clipped the top of this bus that... like it was, it's in the concrete of it. You guys anybody listening, just look up pictures of the Lula Bowl at Skatopia. You see some geography of what I'm talking about here. So, anyways, I'm floating up above the bus, and I'm over the gap. I'm not dead, but my back tire leaves a tire mark on the top of the bus, and then I bounced down the hillside and like scared the shit out of myself. Like, I was like, what the like what just happened, dude? And he's like, what in the fuck did you do? So Dad's fired up, and then I was like, okay, I think I got it. 1, I'm gonna hit it in 3rd next time, and then 2, we need to build a little jump down in the field that jumps up to the level of where the ramp is. That way I can load the suspension and actually get a preload to be able to jump this. And we did that, and then I jumped it about like maybe 5 more times throughout the course of Bowl Bash, and like it went a little better every time until I was jumping too far. Because clipping the bus the first time, I was like, dude, I don't want to fuck with that at all. I want to go way past that. But the landing was not steep enough to like give you a smooth landing. It was basically like landing on flat ground. And about another 60 feet past the 120-foot gap in the bus, there was like a steeper part. And I was like, if I could get both tires on that, it would almost be smooth. And I came up just short, and I jammed my back up. I had like just a numbing, almost throwing up feeling from like landing. You can hear it in one of the YouTube videos, like the helmet cam video of it. I go like, like I thought I was like half paralyzed or whatever, and I came and I was like, Dad, dude, that last one hurt. Like I couldn't put my foot out first when I stopped at the bottom. Like I just kind of fell over, and he was like, "What? Are you hurt?" And I'm like, I mean, I don't think I'm like hurt, but yeah, it hurt. Like, yeah, maybe I pinched a nerve. I don't really know what I did, but I can still feel that today, like that. Just like a little pain in my lower back, and but anyways, that freaked him out, and he left. So he took his skid steer, packed his truck up. He was hammered drunk, and then he left. And I was like, dude, how the hell do I even get all this stuff home? Like we had my ramp there, and then so I jumped it one more time after that because I told the dude I would, and like so I did the Saturday evening jump. Saturday morning jump was when I hurt myself a little bit, and then finally cut loose and partied with the hippies a little bit that night because I wasn't, like doing any mescaline or, like ketamine or whatever, or what's the fun one, the cool one that's like pure ecstasy. It's it's letters, Molly, MDMA. Was not doing MDMA because of doing motorsport, stunt jumping. So
some kind of responsibility.
Yeah, but I was like, man, I'm gonna embrace the culture, and then I limped my way out of there, and then a couple weeks later, I get a call from the owner of Skatopia going like, hey, my fucking shit's flooding up here. Where's your dad? And I was like, he's like really mad at me and not talking to me or whatever and drunk and stuff. And he's like, well, he said he was going to fill in my drainage ditch. And I was like, well, here's the number to the house. You can call him. Like, me and him ain't really on speaking terms. And Dad tells him to take the ramp that I couldn't haul back. My ramp's still in the hillside of Skatopia. Scrap it, and then he could rent his own equipment to fix his damn drainage ditch and never call the house again. So I took that as that I was kind of banned. I'd never been back, and I kind of never really wanted to go back, but I kind of do, sort. You know what I mean? Like, maybe. But I'm getting too old. But so that's the Skatopia story, is that I can't go there. But my ramp, as far as I know, is still in the hillside shove there, and nobody's jumped it since.
I went there. I went to Skatopia when I was young, and
shout out to Bruce.
Yeah.
I went there when Bam Margera was there.
Oh,
Damn.
I was really young.
That's sick.
And I had a brief 15, 20 seconds of little conversation with Bam Margera.
Was Tony Hawk there at the same time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see Tony Hawk.
My buddy's band plays Bull Bash almost every year.
I went back.
Shout out Joey Crabtree.
I went back to Skatopia 2014, and I drove up with a four-wheeler, and there was somebody with a homemade contraption type flamethrower setting a car on fire, and I was like, yeah, I'm all right. And I turned around and went back wherever I came from.
To be fair, the cars that are getting burned are okay to get burned.
Yeah, I was still okay.
It's not for everybody.
I
just
didn't really know people there, so I was kind of out of my element.
Yeah.
It is overwhelming. It's a culture shock.
It's a crazy place, but in kind of a cool way.
I think, Bruce, I think right now is in prison. I might be 6 months or a year behind. And Brandon has been running it.
Brandon's been running it.
And he's a mellow, he's really into philosophy from what I can tell.
He had an accident, didn't he?
Bruce did, yeah.
Yeah.
He was had brain damage before I met him. And they're like, oh, he's not the same guy. He was pretty cool, but, traumatic brain injuries make you act a little like it messes with your impulse. So I guess maybe he got a little more aggressive. His jail stuff is, I think, assault type deals or
I
something.
have no idea. I don't keep up with him.
But his son is like kind of like me and my dad. Like you go the opposite way. Like he's a really I don't know. He posts on Facebook all the time about enlightenment and shit I don't understand and stuff. Like deep stuff. Like some serious shit, dude.
Of course, the dirt bike guy doesn't get enlightenment.
Like some deep philosophical shit, dude. Like with like those
he does
diagrams
go
of like the guys with all the color. Like it's like when your brain like a little brain activity and then more and then like whoa. Like stuff like that, like the third eye and like science or pseudoscience. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like deep shit, dude. Smart stuff.
Yeah.
He's an interesting dude for sure.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I have him on Facebook as well. But he's a pretty interesting cat, man.
Is stuff still going on?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just running it. They actually just got the stairs rebuilt, like the
Yep.
big stair set. Yeah.
I just don't hear
raising-
much about it anymore. I tell you what, though, in
it's
town,
invitation only now, like which might be better, dude.
I'll tell you.
Honestly, probably is.
Yeah. You will always know when a car comes in town from Skatopia.
Oh, for sure.
Every time.
It's always the craziest shit.
Yeah.
I love it though. Like it's like such a interesting expression.
I forget who I was with, and they were like, "What is the deal with this car?" I was like, "That came from Skatopia." They're like, "What?" I was like, "I'm 99.5% sure that came from Skatopia."
Yeah. Dude, I first heard about Skatopia like 15 years ago. Like at this point I was living like down in southern Ohio, and like I did a lot of like riding BMX and shit, right? And like hung out with a lot of skaters and like heard the skaters talking about this mecca, like this place, and I was just like, "What are you talking about?" Like it's called Skatopia, and I was like, "That's not real. That's not a real name for a place." And they're like, "It's not even that far," and I was like,
It's
"There's
insane.
no way." And then I forgot about it because I was like, "All right, this is a skateboard place," so I was like, "There's no way this is like a real thing, though." And lo and behold, I ended up moving up to Meigs County, like 6 years after that to moving with Cody, and I realized I was like right next door to Skatopia. I've still never been, but I have friends that go.
Yeah.
Well, did go a lot. Like I've had several of my friends' bands play there during the Bull Bash and shit like that. It just seems like a really crazy place, but like in a kind of a good way. Like I think it's good for like that kind of community. It needs a place.
Like the idea of it, I was in, that's what drew me there. I was like, it's like you get to be yourself. Like there's literally, I met hobos there. Like actually, it's like I ride the trains, and I was like, "Oh, you work on the trains?" And they're like, "No, dude, I rode trains to get here." And like
dude.
but there's like a dark side a little bit too. I'm not gonna speak much on it, but like, here I will, dude. Okay, I had like one of those plastic like things you put your pack of cigarettes in. And I had a dime bag. I found a guy in a hemp shirt and bought a little bit of weed from him, like just a little. And then I sat it down on these steps because I got high and forgot whatever. And then this one butthole, dude, like this fucking like, because that's the difference where you get from like hippie to anarchist. Like apparently anarchists are assholes and hippies are cool. But like, he stole my weed and then like challenged me to a fight more or less by like chucking the plastic thing up behind him as he walked by. And then I'm like, dude, there's like 7 of them, and I'm here by myself, and like, you know what I mean? I can't fucking like hurt my knuckles because I got a hold of my handlebars. But like, one of them really tried to, they stole my weed, dude. And it was not even like a pound, like, oh, like what, like, you know what I mean?
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think that's because they're anarchists. I think that's because there were 7 of them and 1 of you.
Yeah, or something like that, dude. But like, you know what I mean? Like, you think you got a utopian society and shit, but they stole my weed, man. and like, from what I hear, like that's where they grow all the weed. Like, they could have went in the woods and stole some, like, probably better weed.
Allegedly.
That's what I heard. They have a party called Harvest Fest in September. It's weird.
Allegedly.
Like there's Bowl Bash, Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but it's about skating. It's like the bowls are like what used to be pools, like from the dog town.
Yeah.
It's a bowl. You know what I mean?
That's a really great description.
That's
actually.
what.
Yeah, it's great.
Dude, I watched Lords of Dogtown. I know my shit. and Ancient Aliens.
Yo, man, the aliens for sure built these bowls, bro. I'm telling you, we gotta shred this shit.
There's fucking
Brick by brick.
There's pillars under the pyramids. now,
Pyramids,
guys.
yeah.
Supposedly.
4 pillars
Yeah.
under the pyramid.
There's also some water stuff under there.
Mr. Beast is swimming in it.
Yeah, did you see that?
Thinking about. No.
Yeah, there's like a whole like water thing. I don't know enough about it, but like there's water under the pyramids, and Mr. Beast like was down there. But also they did LiDAR, and apparently there's like giant structures underneath.
Well, they were doing that in South America.
Well, they're doing LiDAR everywhere now because now they're just like, all right, we're finding shit everywhere we do this stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, apparently there's like giant structures under the pyramids. Like
Pillars with spirals around them.
yeah,
Like
but we're talking like 2 kilometers deep.
Yeah.
It just
Yeah,
it just makes a lot of questions of like how that got there.
Yeah, I could go all day about how that, you know what I mean? Think about it. Really think about it.
you know,
See?
I just met you, and I have no idea which direction your brain is trying to go right now.
I'm sorry.
Somehow you
but-
could be throwing me for a loop, and you're just like, "Yep,
But
the
really,
Egyptians just made them."
but really think about it. You know what I mean? That's when you'll. Yeah.
How,
I don't know.
what do you think, Colby,
Really?
about the pyramids? What do you think?
This is just me still like. I have a. My girlfriend is always like, "Oh yeah, what did Joe Rogan say about it?" You know, like what? But I think that like, not Joe Rogan, but well, man, I'm gonna forget the guy's name. But he wrote books on it, the Chariots of the Gods or something like that. Footprints of the Gods. Whoever wrote that.
I don't think this is Graham
Did-
Hancock. It's the other
Yeah,
one.
Graham Hancock.
Graham
Or-
Hancock.
Joe
Graham Hancock.
Joe
type.
had him on.
But
Well,
we
yeah, Hancock's on there
we
all the
were
time.
way more evolved until a post-apocalyptic.
He was the one
type.
talking about the measurements of the stones.
Oh yeah, there's one dude on there that like goes into like these weird numbers. He gets a little autistic with it, and he's like, oh yeah, there's 3 pyramids, and then that's 3 degrees from the sun, and 3 million is how many people. Like it's like a little weird with the numbers, but
To be fair, he's oversimplifying it. The math on the pyramids is actually crazy.
yeah. But there's that, and but I think it was civilization reached a way higher level than we assume, and a longer time ago. Then it got nearly wiped out. They lost some science, and then we're building back from there. I don't know.
Dryas impact theory. Son.
That's it. The Younger Dryas impact theory. I'm in on that one.
I know my theories.
I heard it on Joe Rogan. A smart guy said it. He said science before and after. That's exactly what I believe.
Speaking
No,
about
really.
cool things in science, Olin.
Oh, dude.
The
I've
dire
known it.
wolves. Have you seen that?
Yep.
I've been
I
going
listened to
in.
him on Joe Rogan too. The dude,
Yeah.
the dude that.
I ain't finished it yet.
Yeah.
What's okay? So the first I heard about this company was like I don't know, like a month ago when they did the woolly mice.
The colossal.
Yeah, I heard about Colossal Biosciences, but I didn't like see like a company post. I just saw pictures of these woolly mice, and I was like, "That's a cool fake thing."
Oh no.
Those are I know that now because like I was hanging out with Cody the other day, and I was just scrolling through Facebook, and I was like, "Dire wolves, what the fuck? Like that's not." This also is a fake thing. Like, what is happening? And then come to find out, all of this is real, and they've been doing this for a long time.
I'm not 100% certain, but they've been promising a full-blown woolly mammoth, like out of an elephant embryo.
By 2028.
Yeah, but soon. Like I thought it was going to be like last year. Like I would joke around with people,
So-
be like, "Hey, you hear we're getting a mammoth? They're doing a mammoth by next year."
They're using a Asian elephant.
Yeah, it's Asian elephants.
Yeah.
They're almost the exact same size and really closely related. What's more interesting and I would say important, though, is why they're doing the mammoth. So the ecosystems that mammoths live in have a lot of permafrost. So currently there's a lot of trees growing in those areas. And if I remember right, so the scientists basically ran like the numbers to see because we want more permafrost in these areas. I think that's good for the globe. it would cost more money for us to like go in there with machines and knock these trees down than it would for Colossal to just pump out some woolly mammoths to go in there and knock the trees down like they would normally do when they lived there. So everything that this company is doing is about conservation and like the rebuilding of ecosystems and planet health.
Well, they have the Humane Society on their side, so
Everybody's on their side. Everything they do is like in cooperation with like 40 conservationists. Like there's birds that they're trying to like save that are endangered. They want to bring back the thylacine. They've also been working on genetically modifying these like plastic eating amoebas that somebody just found.
For the Great Pacific, yeah.
Yeah, like there's so many like crazy uses for that. Also, just want to point out, it's crazy that just exists already in nature. They're just trying to beef it up, but there's just things out there that are eating plastic now. Little amoebas, little guys, nothing big, but dire wolves are crazy.
Did you listen to that?
The
Did you
whole
listen to
thing,
it?
yeah,
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I did.
I thought it was cool how he got in contact with the guy who bought the throne and had them pictured in it.
Peter Jackson, who is a great director. Cody can agree.
Epic.
Yeah, no.
I need to watch Game of Thrones. I haven't done it
So
yet.
that's not that guy. So
Well, I know, but
he's also
speaking about the throne. I need to watch the show.
yeah. So Peter Jackson just ended up buying a warehouse in the area that they were doing all of this, and then also like they kind of linked up, and then he's like, you know what we should do? We should take the pictures of the pups.
Yeah, they were having like a vet visit, wasn't they?
I don't remember off the top of my head.
I think it was.
But I like that they're not doing this as a situation where it's like for human entertainment. Like this is a thing that's being done for the betterment of like ecosystems, and it's not like, oh, look at these things you can now pay to go see.
Well, yeah, because they're trying to get there's been like zoos and stuff trying to get like the woolly mice and all that.
Yeah.
And they won't do it. They said like the only way they would do it would be like a museum.
Yeah.
And it'd be like non-profit, purely educational.
Yeah.
I agree on that point.
So they did stop to think if they should do this. It's not just about that they could do this.
It's not a Jurassic Park thing.
It's not. It's like Jeff Goldblum.
They also can't do dinosaurs. He already said that.
Yeah, it's
Dinosaurs are not possible.
Fossils aren't bones. Think about that. I didn't know that until like you know.
Didn't? They're bike riders, man.
I guess I thought that they were bones. Like you go to the museum and like they got dinosaur bones, but yeah, like there's no DNA left in there.
Yeah, no, they all just turned to rock.
They can't get a profile. They can't decide if they had feathers or what color their skin. There's
like
no,
scales,
they can't like rebuild the genome.
I'm
we don't know.
more confused by the fact that somehow we can take DNA from things, compare it to DNA from other things, find out what percentage it matches, and then fill in the blank somehow with AI.
Yep.
I don't understand how. Look, I'm a hilljack dumb fuck. I don't understand what the process is of editing DNA, but I know for a fact that it's crazy that this company found out a new way to do pretty much all of it.
He can edit that out.
Of course he can.
That's why I had you stop.
I know. But like they found a new way to clone. They just have their own way of cloning things now. Mm-hmm. Before you used to have to like take like sample tissue or sample tissue and all kinds of shit. And now they can just do it with a vial of blood.
Yeah.
And they're also trying to create a bank of like the fauna in the United States because
because they have a bank of seeds. They don't have nothing like that.
Yeah, apparently some other countries have already started working on that. Even though we're ahead of them on this kind of work, we haven't done that. So that's something that they're working towards. But yeah, I looked at their website earlier today, and it looks like pretty much everything is kind of in a positive use. Also, weirdly enough, I was talking to my buddy Logan about it. It makes me uncomfortable. Every bit of their technology that they talked about is like open source, meaning anybody can have it. That I'm unsure about. Like there are other companies working on it, but I'm more curious as to why they're open sourcing everything, because I do feel like even the CEO said this is kind of a nuke waiting to happen.
It's probably like that. Just like regulations aren't up to date with how fast technology. Like there isn't a law against like sharing a DNA profile. Is that what you mean, kind of?
Well, so their software that they've written, like their AI shit, all of that is
All
from
the
what
AI, all the technology
all
side.
the technology side of it is, from what I understand, is open software. Which, Dylan, for that if you don't know, that basically just means like you can kind of just use it.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you have like the equipment, you can just use their software. So that's I'm really interested into why. Like I understand like the sharing of knowledge is good, but also this kind of stuff very clearly can be used for bad things. So yeah, I don't know, but yeah, I kind of went on a whole thing looking into this stuff today.
You can retain and reproduce information really good, dude. Like I will listen to the same stuff and like probably read it and then just be like, oh yeah, it's something to do with like the thing. But you like got your shit together, dude.
Thanks. Yeah, no.
I'll tell you who I like. Like I've been like looking at and like seeing pictures of John Reeves with the boneyard.
Oh, that dude's cool as hell.
So they
And
also.
what the? How is all that stuff there?
That's a great question.
You know,
Like,
they're trying to
How
figure that out.
is it, like what happened?
So Colossus asked to work with him, and they said, okay, can we borrow some of this stuff? And he's like, no, but you can build a lab here.
Yeah.
So
I would
don't
be
know.
the same way.
Well, after like the can't remember the
When they
name.
dumped everything in the
Yeah, I
East
can't
River.
remember the name of the museum that did that, but yeah, they
The
dumped.
Smithsonian?
No, it wasn't the Smithsonian.
No, I can't remember
That's
the name of
in
it,
DC.
but yeah,
Yeah, they just took all them bones and dumped them.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'd be the same
Museum of
way.
Natural History?
Yes.
Maybe. I don't know,
I
dude.
think it was.
But I did. They dumped a bunch of, and they
Cody, you look that up.
Cody, can you look that up for
Pull
me?
that up, Cody.
Who dumped the bones in the East River?
Yep, that's the search right there. But yeah, ever since that, like he just didn't. He's not unwilling to work with people, but it's going to be on like his exact terms.
The American Museum of Natural History.
Hey,
Science.
Look,
we
yeah,
screwed that
look
up.
at you.
Me and Colby tried to fist bump and high five and shake, and
We did it all.
We did the wrong things at the wrong times.
We did.
It's okay.
We did all three, more or less.
But yeah, that I don't know. If I was in his shoes, I wouldn't let any bones leave that property. If you really want to go all about it and you want to investigate, and you want to learn, you do it right here. Because from what he's been saying, he's been ripped off numerous times
It's
in the past.
nuts that like I mean that dude is just a guy. Like I mean he's the largest landowner in Alaska. Like he's a bajillionaire.
Just a gold miner.
But he's really down to earth for. I mean, it just happened to him by coincidence. But that dude, he's all right.
So on this Colossus shit, though, I do have a question for you guys. So sometimes in the mornings I call my mom on her way to work, and I kind of broke this whole dire wolf news to her. And I was like, wanted to gauge how she like, because some people are against it because like moral reasons. Where do you guys' morals stand on like reviving an extinct species? Like, is it weird? To
It
you
doesn't
guys?
fit. It doesn't hit me like that at all. Like it's just interesting and cool.
The only thing that I would have against it, well, can it exist with what we have now, and would it affect what we have now? That would be
Effect
my
for
concern.
sure. Effect for sure. So I think it also, for me, it depends on what they're trying to actually rewild.
Well, it's like
Mammoths are fine.
Whoa.
That's not going to cause any problems, I can imagine.
well, how would they affect the environment where they're at? You know what I mean?
Mammoths?
Yeah.
So, positive.
I mean, I'm sure they kind of behave kind of like an elephant.
So yeah. So the reason they're like wanting to, they don't want to just make those. They want to reintroduce them to the wild, and that's just to positively like affect the ecosystem. Kind of the same concept of like bringing wolves back into like Montana, Wyoming, and Colorado. We talked about the wolf thing on the last.
yeah,
episode.
I'm okay with it as long as it's controlled.
Yeah.
Because once you let them go,
Yeah.
it's going to be crazy.
And it really just
But
depends.
I feel like they do belong in the wild. They have their position in the wild, but as a conservation aspect, I would keep them in control.
So, I don't know. To a degree,
I just
agree
don't
with
believe
you.
that should have been like something that uneducated voters should have voted on, in my opinion.
I don't think anybody's
Because
voting. Well, you're talking about the Wolves.
Yeah, because
Oh.
like
The Wolves for sure.
you
need
know,
to be
like
back.
when you're sitting there and you're not thinking about it, and you're like, that's kind of messed up. Like, yeah, they're part of the wild. I should vote. You know, I should vote. You know, that's like voting with your heart more than just like being logical.
Ignoring all of what you just said, I love you. Wolves should just definitely be back.
They should be back, but
So them
under
reintroducing
control.
them, to a degree, yes, for sure. There would be definitely Wolves are already back now, and they're kind of doing pretty good. We'll ignore Colorado because they didn't do it great there. But it's really important that they're coming back because like that it changes the beaver the beaver population, and that apparently is super important because that changes the rivers, and that's changes the
Beavers
entire
make
ecosystem.
wetlands and different
Yeah.
things.
But outside of like wolves, I don't know what dire wolves' purpose is, other than it's just a bigger wolf. It's bigger, probably slower. But I also don't know what their plans are with that species, or if it was just like we can and it's contained.
From what I understand, I think they probably will, but it will be a long time from now.
Yeah, but like on their website, it breaks down. Cody, can you look something up for me? How many species have gone extinct since the 1950s?
Quite a bit.
This is the point of the company, because all these species are all dead because of like human causation.
Well, they
and that's something that we can
they
fix.
brought it up. The red wolf, what is it?
Didn't even know it was a thing.
14 or 15 only exist.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
I didn't even know a red wolf was a thing.
95 species have been classified as extinct in the wild, with 11 of those becoming extinct since the 1990s.
Wow.
That's a lot in that kind of time span. And we have, what's the not extinct? How many animals are on the endangered list right now? So these are both things that we can technically now fix. Like, because I know they talked about like working on the white rhinos.
16,300 species.
Wow.
16,000 species.
38,500 are under threat.
Yeah.
This is some deep stuff.
This is why this company is important, is because all these species technically can be saved through their process.
Yeah.
Have you guys heard of the Barbary lion? I think
what
it's
is
called
it?
the Barbary or
Is it-
Barbary.
Is the name of it? Barbary, I would assume.
That was the last picture of one. Somebody took a picture of that. That was the last one, and it's black and white.
Well, that's like we have pictures of like the Tasmanian tiger.
Well, they have
Or
a video.
thylacine.
It's like a video of it.
Of the thylacine, yeah. I think it's
Yeah,
the thylacine.
it was 1942. Was when they took that picture. But yeah, I don't know. I've always seen that picture, and it makes me upset. 'Cause it's like you think about it, it's like that's the last one.
Yeah. And see, the thing with to bring this back to the dire wolves, these may not be exactly like the dire wolves that did exist 10,000 years ago. But it is the closest thing we have, and it's the closest thing we've had in 10,000 years. That's cool.
It is cool.
And anybody thinks that it's like playing God, I feel like in 100 years, this is going to be the equivalent to medication for the ecosystem. Like, surgeries used to be looked at as like an iffy kind of way, and like witch doctors, you know what I mean? And now it's just like, oh yeah, take a fucking aspirin, dude. Like,
Fun fact about our area: the first person to do a C-section is from around here. Actually, where you live.
Was it with a chainsaw? No, look up
dude, that's 100% real. The chainsaw
No, yeah.
was invented
for
for
to
childbirth.
remove. Yeah, so There's a chance it was with the chains. I did not know that the C-section originator was from this
It
area.
was a
though.
hand crank chainsaw.
But not to go too far. But do you know that the guy that did all the stainless steel, like the Mothman statue, he lives right around here somewhere, or did?
Yeah, he passed away.
Yeah, yeah.
But
Rest in
I was
peace.
driving here.
His house
and
burnt down a couple years ago.
Damn.
But I was like, dude, I know where I'm at almost. I don't know if I've ever been on this street, but I was like, dude, that Mothman guy with the statues, his house is around here somewhere. But yeah, anyway, C-section. First one done with chainsaw?
Mhm.
Yep.
In 1785, they invented the Atkins
Science.
flexible chainsaw for removing the woman's pelvic bone to make it easier and less time-consuming during childbirth.
Look, I'm just going to tell you for a straight fact, I know what gender had that idea.
That's not
There's no debate
it's not a
here.
feminine thought.
The C-section,
Let's just fucking cut it out.
the C-section that I was talking about, the first successful cesarean section in the United States was performed by Dr. Jesse Bennett in 1794 on his wife Elizabeth while he was initially buried in a cemetery in Point Pleasant, West Virginia. His remains were later moved to the Pioneer Cemetery in the same town. The operation itself took place in Rockingham County, Virginia, not Point Pleasant.
I don't know which one's which, but I bet I know. It's one of those old ones downtown there, like between Advanced Auto and maybe
that's,
even
there.
up to
Well,
the
there's
high
those
school.
signs, those historical signs. That's where I've seen that.
That's yeah. I was like, I'm kind of new to Point Pleasant. Like I lived here 6 years. I didn't drive for a bunch of them, so I'm like just kind of walking around my house. Like, oh,
Shout out to Dr. Bennett.
shout out to DUIs.
No.
Oh, I mean, yeah, Dr. Bennett.
Do not
Hey,
drink and
look,
drive.
kids that are
I
out
don't
there.
condone that.
Look, one is all fun and games. You lose your license for 90 days. Ha 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 ha. 2, and your life is fucked up. So, but 2 is also the number where you kind of learn your lesson too. So
Yeah.
just get the first one and then he. Oh, I got it. But just don't get 2.
No, don't get one.
Yeah, don't get 1.
Don't get one, Colby.
Yeah,
That's
don't
a-
even get. Yeah,
Have a designated driver like I do tonight.
yeah, dude.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah.
Jackass.
What are you saying now, bub?
Well, he's trying to recover after this whole deep dive on DNA.
That
and
I
then
didn't
you
expect. Like I was
went
like,
from
yeah.
DNA to DUI. That's
You guys
crazy.
just shitting around, dude. We'll go in there and talk, and we're talking about like some deep shit.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, this is the real stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, way earlier, you mentioned like Dakar, like the Dakar rally, right?
Yeah, and that's not my kind of racing. I know that the race exists, but you'll be telling me if you know much about Dakar.
So I don't know a whole lot, but I'm pretty sure the winner last year was Carlos Sainz Sr., and he's making him the oldest winner in the history of the thing. He's like in his 60s.
Mhm.
So his son is currently and has been a Formula One driver.
Wow.
So Carlos Sainz Sr. has been a rally driver for like that's kind of like what he does professionally, and then like his son like is just a professional Formula One driver. But it's like it was crazy. You mentioned Formula One and Dakar, and it's like those things are connected.
That is neat. Like I said, I don't know how many divisions there are in Dakar, but I mean, you have
I
like
have no idea.
big bore bikes, trophy trucks, rally
Everything.
car. I mean, yeah, they're racing across the desert from like a continent in kind of everything.
How long is the Dakar Rally, Cody? Dakhar. You ever seen that, Dylan?
Mm-mm.
Dude, it is insane. They're insane people. And it was just won last year by like a 65-year-old man.
I'm biased, but just look up like the motorcycle highlights. Like those dudes are doing like 120 miles an hour
Yeah.
all day long. I mean, they have some epic wrecks and stuff, but
How long is it, Cody?
The Dakar Rally spans 4,785 miles.
Yeah.
like bombing, they've kind of
Thank you,
gone
sir.
to smaller bike. I mean, 450s are really powerful for the weight ratio, but they're like literally just locked in full throttle, like absorbing all the. And I'll be kind of speaking out of my element, but like they have some kind of weird readout. Like you've probably seen Travis Pastrana videos of him driving rally where it's like left one, small crest, into right two. Like they have like a coded system that's scrolling and that's it. Like there's no practice and there are no like route scouting. They have like a printout of what's coming at them and like just
I
latched
can actually
back.
break this down more.
Yeah.
So, I don't know about Dakar for sure, but like in rally stages in general, if you've never watched rally is a really weird team sport. You have a driver and a co-pilot, and what they do is like the day before, they'll drive through the stage, like at a slow pace, and the co-pilot will take notes. And I don't think every co-pilot uses the same number association, but like for instance, like one left could be like a really sharp left versus a 7 left is more open. But they go through and they write out their pace notes, and then so you have one dude whose job is haul ass, and another dude whose job is just say the code, man. Like it's getting your map while you're going as fast as humanly possible. So psychotic, basically.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a spotter on a sniper team.
Yeah.
All the
I've always been astounded that like NASCAR ended up as America's motorsport coming out of the Prohibition and not rally.
That's because, yeah, you're right. Gravel back roads and like the origins
It's the exact
of
same
it.
thing.
Yeah.
well, NASCAR just advanced really. Compare, you know what I mean? Where'd it come from? If you look at early stages of the NASCAR, it wasn't pavement.
yeah.
It was all dirt.
Yeah.
And
but I mean, still,
but
it
really,
was like-
that stems from the dirt track.
But yeah, but we're
And I
talking
like dirt
oval.
track
How do we
racing.
go from like Prohibition moonshine running to
Yeah, I
to
get what you're
oval
saying,
versus
yeah.
like
I think they just went as a more professional standpoint. Not to interrupt you, like I just feel like it's just a more professional.
I feel like all the rally people are gonna roast that concept.
No, I'm not
Rally
saying
is a
they're
huge
not
sport.
professional. I'm not saying they're not professional. I'm just in the world of NASCAR alone.
Yeah. I always love when NASCAR drivers call out like drivers from other like motorsport professions.
Yeah.
Like what's his name? Is it Kyle Larson? Is that
I wouldn't know.
I don't know if it's him.
See, I don't dabble in that stuff.
don't know
I
much
dabble
about
in
NASCAR.
certain motorsports, but like I always laugh. Like there's been several times where like NASCAR drivers are like will like shit talk F1 drivers, be like, I can outdrive you. It's like
See, like
heavy doubt.
growing up, I seen more drag racing than I seen NASCAR.
See-
Because my grandfather was into drag racing.
I like drag racing
Built cars.
in person, but like watching it,
I couldn't watch it on TV.
couldn't care less.
Yeah, I've went to like national trails and stuff like that and watched.
Yeah.
And then they opened up the drag strip again.
Oh, yeah.
on 35.
Oh,
They opened
yeah.
it back up. I'd like to go back up there.
I haven't been since
Last
they
time I
opened
went was
it
when
back up.
the rocket semi wrecked.
Whoa.
Yeah, like lost its steering and like it couldn't brake and it hit the sand pile at the end and it broke its steering off. So he couldn't do anything. So like they were going to bring him back up later that night, and basically all he did was burn off all the fuel he had in it, and it was like melting camera lenses.
Whoa.
I remember it was so hot. It was so hot.
Nitromethane, that's what we use as fuel in hill climb. I mean, but it burns 14, maybe 12. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. But as many times of oxygen as gasoline. So that's the level of combustion and heat. And, you know, I mean, it's like,
It's spicy. Shit.
it's 14 times, you know, your gas engine, which is kind of silly. You know, I mean, it's kind of cool, the coolest thing ever, but it's also like, why would you need? That's what I was when we were talking about NASCAR. The only thing that's cool about that is that it is restricted. Like they basically have the same car, so it's like driver versus driver.
I do.
That's what
kind
I
of
can
like
appreciate that part of it. Because with Formula One, like the vehicles are on a different. Like I don't
Yeah.
know what team's that much better, or what, but
That's the
the
thing.
car versus the driver.
I recommend everybody get into Formula One, but if you get into it, know that not everybody is racing for the win.
Were you into it before the Netflix show? Because that Netflix show, I didn't
It's
watch it
ve- it's
myself,
very
but
dramatized.
like brought a lot of people into
It
it.
is fun, but it is very dramatized. It's good for the sport. People just need to go in understanding this is a reality TV show version
Yeah,
where they're cutting shit to make it look like a certain way, and then you have the reality. The unfortunate thing is like that show is like making people think that certain drivers are like beefing and shit like that when in real life they're like homies, you know?
yeah. It like any reality show. They're making their own story.
I will say this though. So NASCAR is more of a spec racing thing, and I am a firm believer that spec racing is like the best way
Pure.
to get like it's the most pure.
Yeah.
But the amount of like innovation in the motor industry from Formula One is unrivaled.
Because if they could, they would. You know what I mean? Like if they could like take their engineers and their team and make that car that much better than any team, it's rules. Like it's
not
not
even just in racing. Like, hey Dylan, you got a nice truck right there. Does it got buttons on the steering wheel?
Yeah.
Shout out to Formula One. That's where you got it from.
or Batman. Well, for
Remember, cool.
yeah, dude, he had buttons on the steering wheel when I was a baby. Michael Keaton, he's like,
yeah, like there's so much crossover from Formula One specifically to like consumer vehicles, and that's why it's cool that it's not spec, because there's so many innovations that just trickle down to us peasants that drive normal cars. Have you ever watched a Formula One race?
No, I can't say I have.
Have you?
I've never watched a complete one. I've like watched little bits and pieces of a race.
I got the hype of when Drive to Survive first came out and how awesome it was, and I got a little in on the Netflix. You know what I mean? That's why I asked that. But to watch a full, I don't know a driver's name, to be honest.
Dude, I'm a diehard. I watch every race live. My sleep schedule, the reason my schedule is so fucked up is because I watched a race that started at 1 a.m. a couple days ago.
I appreciate it for what it is. I just haven't. I haven't gone down the rabbit hole yet.
It's a weird rabbit hole to get into, especially like it's definitely easier if you have people that are like fans of it that are your friends.
Yeah.
Like I watch most of the races alone because my buddy that is super into it. Other than Cody, I've gotten him into it pretty hard. But my buddy who's diehard into it lives like 4 hours away. So I'll be watching the race and I'll just like send him updates if he's asleep. Or if he's awake, we'll just be sitting there like messaging back and forth like, can you believe this dumb shit, bro? Like,
it's weird when stuff's on the other side of the world. Like they don't do it real often, but like sometimes like the UFC would be like in the afternoon here when it was in Europe, but now they're like making them fight. I don't know, but yeah, like when something's going on,
and that's weird.
Africa,
too.
Italy, whatever, yeah.
It's weird to have an event in a different country and try to abide by our schedules.
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Even though it's probably a big market, because like Formula One to a degree kind of does that, but also it's impossible because they're doing like most.
It's got to be day.
Like yeah.
Wait.
Well,
they do have night races. Yeah, wasn't Vegas?
They do Vegas. Fucking yeah, because that one started last year. I think at like midnight.
What was
also crazy? Have you seen that?
Was that course like ill
prepared? Just drive down the fucking main strip in Vegas.
Yeah.
The course was screwed up, right? Like they didn't plan out, and there was manhole covers. There was some drama I heard about.
I don't know if that was Vegas or if that was a different one, because there's like 4 or 5 different street circuits that exist.
Okay.
But one of them, the manhole covers were not in place. So manhole covers were. If you're unfamiliar with Formula One, these cars produce the most downforce, which means that if they drive over something, that thing is no longer on the ground. It is sucking into the air. So yeah, they were pulling manhole covers out of the ground. And that's ridiculous. I don't know how much those weigh, but I know it's a lot.
It should, yeah.
But yeah, no. So they just have a super insane downforce, and they were like kind of tearing the tracks up. Well, not the tracks. They basically shut down city streets to like put these races on. Most people in Las Vegas do not like that. Certain like hotel rooms that were looking over the track got a huge price bump.
How many courses are in America or in the United States?
I think there's currently 3, and only one of them is actually a good track.
Yeah.
'Cause we have Miami, Vegas, and then we have Austin, Texas, which is the Circuit of the Americas, which is one of the coolest tracks, period.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have 3, which is crazy. But also, it's a giant country. I guess is probably why we have that many.
Yeah, I figured worldwide, like America's kind of behind, but I mean, we have 3 races.
Yeah.
Are there American drivers at the top? You don't hear a lot about them.
There's not a single one at the moment.
Wow.
There was, and shout out to him. He was bad.
Yeah. You know, have you guys ever heard of Nicky Hayden?
Nicky Hayden.
He's a MotoGP multiple-time world champion, which is the motorcycle version of Formula One, like crotch
Yeah.
rocket. And the dude's from Kentucky. Like hearing a dude with a very like southern
wild.
accent, like, man, I was just out there, was the coolest shit in the world. Like, I mean, he was a surgeon with a motorcycle, like a 200 plus horsepower.
Yeah, they're
Like
crazy.
he's the man, and it's kind of like, you know, a Ricky Bobby if he could beat Jean-Jacques Ferrard, you know, like, or Jean-Jacques Girard, like if he could really up it. Like, I mean, he was the best in the world, and
I don't know.
a guy hit him on a road bike. He was riding bicycle, you know, for cardio, and got ran over dead.
Jesus
Took
Christ.
they took him from us.
I only know, I think I only know, so I don't watch MotoGP, but I do know the name, what is it, Rossi?
Yeah, Valentino legend.
I was just
I'm not a
showing-
huge fan or nothing, but that's, yeah.
I was just showing Cody a clip from a race yesterday that was Rossi. I can't remember who he was battling on track, but it was like a crazy end to a lap, and dude, it is just Formula One on motorcycles,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like that is insane to think about. But yeah, that's the only name. But it is crazy though that it is a name that I know.
Yeah,
a sport that I
yeah,
know.
he transcended, and I don't like watch MotoGP or know a damn thing about it. I know Nicky Hayden, you know, from 10 years ago, but the name Rossi's, yeah, it's transcended just motorcycle racing. He's the man.
It's kind of like a Carmichael scenario,
Yeah, yeah.
or like get in the freestyle world, like you got like Pastrana, like Deegan, like
Michael Jordan, it's the name.
yeah,
It's like
Tiger
you don't,
Woods,
yeah,
Ali, Tyson.
bigger than the sport
It's
itself.
so weird that we have athletes that are just bigger than the thing that they do to that kind of degree.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's just weird to me that someone can get so popular that like they outshine their entire craft.
yep. That is the thing.
Who is that for baseball, Dylan?
What?
Who's the athlete in baseball that outshines the entire sport? I got two in my head.
That outshines the entire sport.
Like we're talking like whether you know the sport or not, like it's a household.
There was that steroid summer where like I know less about baseball than almost anything, but
Ooh.
Mark McGuire and Barry Bonds
Yeah.
from the home run record summer. Like
That's not even the two that I was thinking.
I would
of.
say, not trying to be biased. I really like him, and it started as a kid, just naturally liking him, and then I was like, this dude's really popular, and people like him, and it kind of looks like a bandwagon type thing, but current like would be like Derek Jeter. That
Yeah.
guy was phenomenal.
I went to school with his cousin.
That's
Wow.
badass.
Yeah, it was random.
It was cool.
I wasn't even necessarily meaning recent, like just in general, like because like we were talking
That
about.
outshines, I mean, would have to be like Babe Ruth,
That's what I was gonna say.
Lou Gehrig,
Like, but also
Jackie Robinson,
Barry Bonds is a great one.
Ken
Like,
Griffey.
That's what I was. So Babe Ruth and Ken Griffey were the two that just popped in my head immediately. Even
Like-
though Bonds is probably
King
bigger.
Griffey Jr. was
Like
the man.
Jackie Robinson. That's
I always forget you're a baseball guy.
yeah. I mean, I don't follow it close as I used to.
Otani though.
Yeah, he's a freak.
Otani's crazy.
Yeah,
I don't watch baseball, but there's certain athletes I'm just like, all right, I'm watching for a split second right now.
I just like he's a two-way player. He can pitch and
Yeah, I think
yeah,
we
he
talked
plays.
about that
He
briefly.
plays both sides.
And there's a couple of people in like the NBA right now that I'm looking at that I'm just like, yeah, that's gonna be like a household.
The only thing that I ever see about the NBA is like
Steph Curry.
the wind blows in LeBron James' face kind of hard, and he falls over and starts crying. Like
Hey, you
every
leave
time
it-
I see anything about that, like basketball, it's LeBron James laying on the ground, like my knee, and nothing even touched him.
Wait till I tell you about European football.
Yeah, that's pretty rough. Hey, not to be off topic,
Yeah, off topic.
but we did something the other day. We played pool together for like the
Oh,
first
we
time
did,
in like
man.
5 years.
Yeah, that was a good time.
It was.
I've been wanting to do it again.
I was kind of excited for the next day to do it, and then you know,
All the drama happened.
I got a little hot there. I wasn't expecting that.
I'm an expert at sucking at pool. Like I'm really.
I'm an
bad
expert
at
at
it.
just like
I'm really
playing.
bad.
Hey, Cody knows all about that.
I think I can give you the run for your money here.
That's the 1v1 we
Really
need.
bad.
Put it
I
on
mean-
the podcast YouTube channel.
I haven't like when me and Olin started hanging out, we started playing pool. Like
Yeah.
that's where we met was on.
I was
pool table.
playing pool a lot before then.
Well,
That's
yeah,
where we
but
met.
then like you randomly came in and I met you, and then we just started playing pool, and we played it so much it was like, if we played, it was like teams. Like me and him was always the ones playing. Like,
Yeah.
and a lot of times people come in, they would be like, "We ain't playing them."
Yeah.
What's the sweet spot?
We almost got assaulted once over playing pool
More
in the
than
team.
once.
Yeah, like
There were a couple of old guys that wanted to play for money,
yeah.
and I was like, probably not, you know.
Yeah.
And they
I just never
insisted.
was big into like playing pool. Like I'll play you for a beer, but I don't want to play for money.
See, when I was touring with bands, I did a lot of both of those things. So I was fine with it,
Yeah.
but I was also just like, you guys are looking a little drunk. Don't want to do that. It's inhumane. And
But part
they-
of you really wanted to do it.
oh, I really wanted to.
Well, it was like we
but they
played.
insisted.
Yeah, they insisted. They were like being pushy about it, and we kept like shrugging them off. And we played like a series of like 4 to 5 games. Every one of them, we pummeled them.
Yeah.
So like third game in, he's like being really pushy about wanting to bet money, and he
Wanting
kept doing it. And he kept doing it. And I said, and you know me, I was like not saying I'm good, but I was a little cocky, and I was like, I just don't think you have a check you can cash. Like you don't have enough money to back that up. And then like when we were playing, like I was really good on the break, putting a lot of top spin, and I could go in and hit that 8 ball, knock it in a pocket. And I shit you not, when I broke, I knocked the 8 in the pocket. That's an automatic win. And I looked at him and I was like, "You really want to bet for money?" And then like,
And they did.
yeah,
And we played them. And they lost. And then they said double or nothing. And we said sure. And then they lost. And that was the end
the
of
last
it.
game they didn't even hit a ball on the table. We did it all off the break.
How much money are we talking?
Hey, what?
It wasn't a whole lot. It might have been like 20, 30 bucks. It was not a small
It's a
amount
matter
for a
of
shitty little dive
principle.
bar.
But we didn't want their money, and they got insulted by it. Like,
But then they got angry that they lost. And I was like, I don't care. Like that, you're gonna bet in a bar, you're gonna pay me. And then like he like calmed down. He's like, look, man, you either hug me or fight me, but I don't got your money. And I was like, okay, yeah, whatever. Because I remember the whole end of this now.
I was in the back in the corner with a pool stick, bro.
Just ready.
I
Yeah.
broke a pool stick. We had a beer
So-
bottle in his hand. He was like,
Yeah, no, he was getting.
dude.
He got feisty at first, and then he chilled and like hit me with like either fight me or love me, but like, I ain't got your money. And I was like, it's fine, you know, whatever. Just get out of the pool room.
Yeah.
You're not hanging out back here with us, like, because there was like a bunch of people back there. Then I went out to get a beer, and I see them sitting at the bar drinking, and we were tight with the bartender at the time, and I was like, hey man, did they buy those drinks? And he's like, yeah. And I was like, they owe us like $30. And he like went over and took their drinks away and was like, do you guys owe them money? And they're like, well, yeah, but it was our drinking money. He's like, did you bet on a game? And they're like, well, yeah, but it wasn't serious. And he's like, no, you're either going to pay them or not drink here. You're not going to not pay them and drink here. And they got real upset at that. And at this point, I don't remember if they ever paid us or if they just left. But they did one of the two.
they
things.
didn't.
They just left. But
Sounds like they just got no etiquette. Like that,
Yeah.
you know, and the
I've lost money
classless
playing pool
fools.
before.
Yeah. But it was a simple fact. It was like we didn't want to take advantage of him after he done beat him 3 times.
Yeah.
And we were like, no, we're cool. We don't want to. They're like, oh yeah, we're gonna
No,
play for money. And I was like, no.
Jackass.
But he went to the hut down here the other night, and he kept inviting me. I was at work, and like I was getting off at 5,
I got
and
hit
I'm
on by a
like,
cougar.
yeah.
Ooh, hell yeah.
Well, kind of a cougar.
But for like 3 days, he invited me to play pool, and I finally broke down and went down.
What's
to play
the
pool.
HUD?
It's a
The
bar.
little bar down the street.
Did I pass it?
Yeah, you probably did.
I never heard
If you
of it
come from
before.
Ripley, you did.
not
Well,
open right
I
now.
came from my house.
Oh, okay, you didn't then. It's on the outside of town.
Keep going that way. Or past. Oh, yeah.
Like when you go down to the bottom of the hill, you hang a right to go to the hut. Or you
Okay.
turn left, you go back to your place.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, yeah, we were playing pool. It was a good time, and
It's a great time.
I think I ran a few people out of the bar. I put on Pink Pony Club.
It was the
I
best.
heard y'all talking
bartender-
about
the
Chapel
bartender
Run
was like,
last episode.
Huh?
I heard y'all talking about Chapel Run last episode. It's
Dude.
undeniable. I mean,
Yeah.
just so
Undeniable.
catchy. Like, it's good shit.
Yeah.
My man.
Front to back,
she's
that album
getting
is
front-
fantastic.
Getting
Yeah.
after it. Yes.
And the singles she's been putting out recently, so
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, the bartender was like, "There's like 10 free credits on there," and he was like, "You can play whatever you want. Don't be playing no AC/DC." And I was like, "I got you, dude." And I had him in a world. I threw him for a loop. He thought, for sure some AC/DC was coming out. Nah, Pink Pony Club. And then like some old people at the end of the bar were like, "What the fuck?" And like
Yeah, it
they ended
was-
up leaving.
It
It's
turned
like,
into
whatever.
an interesting time.
It
That's awesome.
went
Yeah.
from Pink Pony Club to like Coulter Wall.
Yeah, I had a few of Coulter Wall. I don't even remember which Coulter Wall song it was, but it's a crazy juxtaposition.
No. It was "Can I Take My Hounds to Heaven?"
Oh yeah, it was Tyler
It's
Childers.
not that crazy. Like, she's a country star now. She has a country single.
She did
like a
one
chart
song, but even
Yeah.
she doesn't want to be like she's not trying to branch over. She just
She's
wanted
not trying to be a Beyonce.
She just thought it'd be
Oh
hilarious.
yeah, like to be on that level of. I mean,
Cowboy
she would have
Carter.
had to have been like, it's a culture.
Yeah.
She just thought it'd be hilarious to do a lesbian
Lesbian
country,
country
song.
song.
And you know what?
It is
It
hilarious.
is funny.
It's fucking
It's pretty
hilarious.
cool.
And it's good.
I feel the
I
same
heard
way.
it the other day, like when it first came out. I was like, you know what, this kind of slaps.
It does.
Yeah, man. Like people also shit on Tyler Childers doing the one about the gay cowboys.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Also a great song.
Also a
It
great
is a good
fucking song, dude.
It is.
Don't be weird about it.
Who doesn't
Yeah.
love a gay cowboy?
Hey man, rest in peace to my boy Heath Ledger.
Word.
Yeah. Dude, I got like my mom was like, "Oh my god, all the teachers." She's a kindergarten teacher, and the opposite of my dad. And she's like, "Everybody at school is talking about this Brokeback Mountain movie." She had no idea what it was, and I'm 10 or maybe 12 when this movie comes out, and we rented it and didn't finish it. Just short story long, she got traumatized and was like, "That's what they were talking about."
On a real note,
That was
really
a big thing when that come out.
It was, yeah.
People were like, how dare they?
On a real note,
It's like, who cares?
if you get past like it's not what you're into. It's a great fucking.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I've honestly never watched it.
Dude, it's a really fucking beautiful story and like definitely worth a watch. Like, there's a reason that it's such a well received movie.
Yeah.
It's a film, but she just wasn't ready for it, and I
I
wasn't.
mean, yeah, if you're not ready for that and you put that on, thinking you're gonna get like a Sam Elliott,
She thought it
movie,
was
like,
just Western.
it ain't that. Well, I mean, it is that, but it.
They have
Depends
gay
on
butt
what-
sex, is what he mean. Like that's the where most westerns they don't. That one does. That's where it's different.
Hey, shout out to that other movie with Benedict Cumberbatch in it,
Which one?
The Western.
I don't know which one.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Western. He did a Western where he's like running like a dude ranch.
I wish I had a dude ranch.
It's also got
8 naked cowboys in the showers at Ram Ranch.
no, I can't. Oh, what's that one guy? I don't want to use the nickname because it's the Matt Damon ripoff nickname. No, not that one. The mean version of that. Clemens.
Oh yeah, dude, he does look
Clemens?
Jesse Plemons?
Yeah, is that the one that
Like-
we had the mean nickname for?
like Matt Damon with like a shellfish allergy or something. Right? That's the guy, like redheaded Matt
My
Damon
man.
with like a
Yup.
little something different.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's in Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
That's him, and he's married to Kirsten Dunst.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a fantastic
Yeah,
actor.
there's
Y'all
a-
watch
Yeah,
Black
yes.
Mirror?
Not me.
I've seen some.
I think he's in it.
I don't like
dude.
anthologies.
Isn't he in the USS Callister
That's
one?
the
yeah.
the Star Trek
It's
one.
the Star Trek.
Great. Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure there's a Western with Jesse Plemons and Benedict Cumberbatch.
I'm already in.
And it's like a dude ranch thing. And I'm pretty sure the Benedict Cumberbatch's character is gay. Actually, yes, because Sam Elliott made a statement about it.
Good or
Okay.
bad?
accidentally bad.
No.
But I bet it
Bummer.
still sounded good just from his voice.
No, it was a written statement.
I'm making a.
So
On this ranch, how many dudes did they have?
That's not what a dude ranch is.
Oh, it's not?
I mean, it is, but it's not.
It's in the title, Olin. Dudes.
Sorry, I can't get Blink-182 out of my brain, bro. Only Cody got that joke, probably.
No, I know that album. Or song. Album. I mean, they have a song, dude. Yeah.
Anyways. It's
What
also
a
a good
letdown
fucking-
that it's not actually dudes, man. Now I don't want to do
I mean,
that
it is
shit.
actually dudes.
Oh, okay, never mind. I'm
It's
in.
not.
What does it mean? Like, does anybody know?
yeah. What is
Pull it
it
up,
really
Cody.
like?
I'm just kidding. Like, was it-
Before he
Sick
pulls it
option.
up, there is a term
Look it up
like a
on.
dude.
You don't have to use
It's
Google.
like a
Look it up
fancy
on a
dude in
real.
the West who's like from the East Coast. Usually like higher fashion, a little softer. They would call him like duded up. I would assume like a dude ranch is like a place for dudes who aren't ranchers. But I could be wrong. I'm probably speaking out of my ass.
I hope he. Are you there? He's gonna find out.
I lost service on my phone.
We need to hook- we need to hook
WWJD.
you up with the
What
Wi-Fi
would
around here.
Jamie do?
Would you like the Wi-Fi?
Sure.
Why I called a dude ranch for, huh?
I'm looking it up right now.
You ready
A
for it?
vacation destination offering an all-inclusive, immersive Western experience, typically including lodging, meals, and activities like horseback riding, hiking, and fishing.
Like the Manson family was doing.
Yeah.
They actually did. Like I've watched a little YouTube video about how accurate the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was. That they really
I
did.
just recently watched that.
I love
You've never seen it before now? You just watched Quentin Tarantino's 2019 masterpiece? What the,
Yeah.
what the fuck, dude?
So I pointed out the term.
I watched it
dude.
twice in theaters.
That's crazy. I wouldn't do that.
You have to sit there 3 hours. I thought it was slow at first, you know. And then I'm like, oh my.
I liked it, but it's bottom 3 for me when it comes to Tarantino films.
Well, yeah, I mean,
It's a great movie.
It's hard to not.
it's great, but I could also never watch it again.
There's definitely way better movies in his.
Did you already
catalog,
do
but-
Tarantino films?
I mean, we technically
We talked about them, but like, you guys were like ranking and listing on last episode, right? Like,
I don't
we were
remember
like,
if we did Tarantino
like,
last time.
Like
We
Robert
probably
De
did.
Niro's best movie, or a little something.
Oh,
but
yeah, we did do
we
that.
could do that. Like, cause it's not my favorite, but I like what I like, kind of thing. But I think any of them are
Yeah.
top tier, and that's so like you know what I mean? Oh,
Yeah.
Tarantino, it's a masterpiece. Like, but they really are watchable, fun films, and he might be a little bit of a hack, but it's not like I
He's
can.
not a hack.
I mean, but he
I-
did literally like
Steal
he,
shit?
yeah, like the camera angle. He's like, I did, but he
Oh,
admits it.
100%,
Like
but
he hacked
I think
elements
that
of other movies. You
is
know?
a good thing.
Yeah, it brings stuff that we would have never watched to like
Yeah.
us. You know, like I'm not gonna watch like spaghetti westerns all day long or like
Yeah.
grindhouse stuff, but like
might.
it kind of dipped me into like wanting to see what that stuff was about. Like
Yeah.
you know,
Also,
But-
before we move on from this, sorry to interrupt.
Mm.
So we brought up the dude ranch, and I brought up the term dude, and why I thought that there was probably like a relation.
dude,
I was, well, not that dude.
dude.
Western dude is a city slicker, a well-dressed dude from like the East Coast who visited dude ranches for a Western experience. So basically, like someone who's got money, dresses nice, from the city, and he's like, I kind of want to come dabble so I can go home.
It's almost like a dandy. Y'all know about dandies?
A dandy?
Yeah.
What's a dandy?
Really
They like dress nice and like do cool stuff. Maybe curl their mustache. Like they're just fancy dudes. They're
I
like
trim mine. Mine as long as it used
like
to
they
be.
got cool hats and like a pocket watch with the like they just like they're like at the height of fashion and culture, dude. A dandy. At a certain point, I don't know. Maybe like
We lost Val Kilmer the other day.
Oh,
Speaking about dandy mustaches.
I don't know why everybody had to shit all over his Batman so hard. It wasn't that bad.
I like his Batman.
Yeah,
it was not that
I didn't have
bad.
nothing to. against it. I also like the newer Batman.
You know what? If we're gonna do the movie thing real quick,
Let's do the Tarantino. Like,
well, we got to do Val Kilmer right now.
yeah, okay.
Favorite, like, just don't put too much thought in it. Like your go-to Val Kilmer movie. We'll start with you, and we'll work counterclockwise. Heat's a great pick.
Tombstone.
Yeah. Oh,
It's probably Tombstone for me as well.
Obviously, my
But I have like a
Tombstone.
handful that I could pick.
Tombstone's my favorite movie of all time. Though Heat might be my number 2 for Val Kilmer.
Like The Doors is up there for me.
Yeah.
I've not seen that.
It's been a very, very, very long time.
He did all the vocals.
But you know
on
what?
it.
How perfect.
Absolutely
Like,
perfect. But no
phenomenal.
one else could have done it.
Well,
Like,
that's what I was-
just by the looks alone,
yeah.
pulled it off.
That's what I was telling him. So originally, it wasn't supposed to be him singing, but he like wanted to real bad. So he told Oliver Stone, the director, he's like, "Look, let me do it, and if you can tell a difference, then I won't do it. But if you can't tell a difference, you gotta let me sing, dude."
He gave him the Pepsi challenge.
And ain't nobody out Pizza's the Hut, son. Yeah, that he sang every bit of it.
I don't know. I've had some frozen pizzas that outdo Pizza Hut, but
Yeah,
I think a lot of stuff out does Pizza Hut.
Pizza Hut sucks.
Pizza Hut
Used
sucks.
to be
Pizza
a
Hut.
proper
Yo,
place
bad.
to
I'm
go
calling
eat.
out Pizza Hut. Y'all went downhill. You hurt my feelings. I need you to fix it or fuck off.
Unless you sponsor this podcast or whatever, like, you know,
I'll
that
eat
might
nothing
make up
else.
for it. Like, and not even a major, like just some pizzas.
No, I don't even want a pizza. Just give me a melt. Their melts are incredible.
Salad bar back in the, like, in 1998, Pizza Hut. Now, it's been a while. I don't even remember the last time I
Jukebox. They
ordered.
had a jukebox.
Brother, I was 4, so I wouldn't know how pizza was.
They'd take you in there, dude, and it would be like for your birthday, and like it would be like the equivalent of like a, you know, like a Longhorn Steakhouse now. Like it was a dining experience. It was like once a month, if that. And they had a salad bar.
Yeah.
Oh, did they?
Okay, sorry.
Can you hear
No,
me?
no, no. You're good.
Can you hear
You're
me?
good. You're good. I was just because you were a little farther from the mic. I was just. I have a freaking wild story about Pizza Hut.
Oh, dude, let's get it.
So we just got done with like sectionals of baseball, and you know everybody goes to Pizza Hut or like Dairy Queen or something like that. Well, anyway, we were eating pizza and they had a jukebox, and I don't know, it was like a kid or somebody, but they played Wagon Wheel by, was it Darius Rucker who did that? Like the
How long ago was
it
it?
was the newer version of Wagon Wheel.
Oh, so not Old Crow.
Old Crow. Yeah,
Well,
that was
Darius-
the original. That's the real
Yeah.
version.
Well, it was Darius Rucker or whoever's singing it. Yeah.
It's a solid version, but it's
Yeah.
not Old Crow.
Well, anyway,
not.
you know, it's not a bad song, but
Tired of it?
no, somebody played it like on repeat like 10 times. And after it come on about the 6th time, this like really big obese old man went straight up to the jukebox and just punched the screen and broke it. They had to like escort him out. Yeah.
Was it a vintage jukebox? Like
It was like a Touch Tunes, like a newer one.
the proper Pizza Hut. Maybe
But he
I'm
like
just
didn't
nostalgic
just
for-
like punch it. He smacked it with a pizza pan. I mean, he messed it up.
Dang.
But then he like stood there and like everybody was collectively done with hearing that song, and that dude just come out of nowhere and smacked that jukebox and broke it. And then it was just like this weird silence, and it was all like nobody wanted to say it. They were like, "Hell yeah, dude, thank you." And yeah, he
I
got
won't
escorted.
lie. There's been times where I've
But the whole time, sorry, the whole
good, you're
like the whole time, he's like trying to get escorted. He's like, "Well, I need a to-go box."
I need a to-go box. Fuck this jukebox.
But at the same time, when he was getting escorted, the like couple people from the baseball team totally took his breadsticks off his table. But yeah,
I don't blame
That's-
him. I'd
yeah.
want to crush the jukebox after the first time it played. So
Unless it's the original.
I don't
I'm good
mind
with the
it.
original.
I hate that song.
I don't
Old
mind
Crow-
it like
Old
one
Crow's
time.
sick.
You know,
It's a
somebody
good
playing
song.
it randomly, not my first pick, but like 10 times. Come on.
Yeah, that's a
You
nightmare.
get one, and it better be the right version.
I mean, I don't mind that version, but like, don't play it on repeat.
It's weird that song did it. It's not the worst song in the world, you know, but
It could have been Wonderwall.
That pushed him over.
That's
the
the
edge.
worst song in the world.
The opposite.
Or,
The opposite
or,
of Tenacious D's song.
What is that?
Oasis
Fireflies
getting
or
back
whatever.
together.
Huh?
That's the worst song in the world.
Firefly.
Oh, don't do this.
Would not believe your eyes.
You
Oh,
shut
well,
the fuck up right
Did
now.
y'all like totally forget when "Hey There, Delilah" was big?
Oh god.
You know
That
what?
song's
Word
okay.
that
That
Yeah, it
song's
was
fine.
good, but like,
The song that he's talking about
Yeah,
makes me
Fireflies.
want to fight people.
Owl City.
who's that by?
Why?
Owl City.
Yeah. You
Look,
wouldn't
I mean, it
believe
is-
your
Don't do
eyes.
this. Don't fucking do this.
Fireflies.
I
Off
don't
the
know
bar,
the
it's
rest
off
of
the
the words
sweet.
there to that song.
But what was you saying? I was like in the middle of the Pizza Hut thing, and you were like talking. I cut you off.
No, speaking of like, I would never play like Wonderwall or
Yeah.
Wagon Wheel.
Yeah.
But what I have been known to do at bars that have touch tunes that you can just access from your iPhone is play shit that I know the bar won't like that I do.
What?
Belligerently heavy shit.
It's fine.
Yeah, well, not the places that I do it. Like redneck dive bars or like just nice-ish restaurants that have touch tunes and just put on like the heavier shit that the jukebox has to offer, you know? I'm having a great time.
I like butt rock in secret. Like I like Puddle of Mud and shit like that, dude.
Yeah,
and fucking Headstrong but Trapped and Breaking Benjamin and all that shit.
Oh, Breaking
Hey,
Bad.
hold on,
rules.
hold
Yeah,
the fuck on.
I like all that
No, no,
shit.
no, no, no,
man. I
hold-
don't even care.
Hey, hold the fuck on. Don't put Breaking Benjamin in that list. That's a good band.
It's okay.
Yeah,
They were good.
You can't
but
put them in there with...
Dude, they were on the Halo soundtrack, man.
I games. I'm out of my element.
Hey,
I
hey,
played
man.
Mario 1.
You can't put...
Colby, it's
And Mario-
cool. They're butt rock.
Do you have Mario Wonder?
I'll come across
For
this
your
table.
Switch?
Go ahead. It's only like 3 feet. What are you trying to brag about?
It's not
What
that far.
happened? 3 feet?
Not
What?
that far of a shot.
I'm just
Drag you
agreeing
across
to
the
agree.
table?
What did you say?
What are you guys talking about?
I missed it.
Are we still rolling?
Yeah.
Is this thing on?
Is this thing on? Tap, 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 tap. We'll just move past it and leave it there.
You know that reminded me of? Did you guys ever watch Get Him to the Greek?
Yeah.
Remember that girl's got him held down on the bed? He's like, it looks like a microphone. He's like, hello, is this thing on? When was the last time you parelled that thing? Stroke the furry wall. I want to make my whole house into this.
Oh my god.
Hope you wear a condom. Get it? I have a dirty mind. It's such a good movie.
It is. All right, so
Yeah.
Once Upon a Time is in the bottom 3. There's 9. Go.
Am I
Start at the very best one.
Oh,
Or your favorite. Even if it's not objectively the best.
Reservoir Dogs.
There you go.
Reservoir is number 2 for me. Pulp Fiction's number 1.
It's fair. Tarantino films, Dylan?
Oh,
Have you seen them all?
See, I like a
You
lot
just
of his.
watched Once Upon a Time last week. Be careful.
It wasn't last week. It was a couple months ago.
What the fuck?
I've seen bits and pieces of it, but like sitting down fully watching it from the beginning to finish.
He only liked it because there was a part where like that guy just like beat the shit out of the wall.
Oh yeah,
I
the whole end
actually-
of it is kind of
actually,
violence on women, but in a,
I didn't know
in
that
the only
was
acceptable way.
I didn't know that part was in the movie
That
until
is-
it lined up to the end of the movie. I was like,
Yeah.
wait a minute,
No.
I've seen this.
It is honestly
the dog food can. That
Yeah.
moment and on.
the whole slow burn of that movie to this like twist chaos.
The flamethrower part was great.
Yeah, because he just walks
I
out and
torched
it's like,
one of them.
Bunch of goddamn hippies up here. Are you okay? I am. I don't think the hippies are.
no, I think I might be with him
But-
that
Yeah.
might be my favorite part
Yeah.
about the whole ending sequence.
It made the whole thing worth it, sort of.
Yeah. Also, him slinging Bruce Lee into the car, and there's just like an insanely
I
big
don't
dent.
like that it made. I don't love that it made Bruce Lee have to be a fucking dick though.
Yeah.
That's not real.
But
it is a
who
movie.
played that guy, because whoever did it really well, like
I
looks
don't
wise.
remember who it was.
I don't know that dude's name.
I will say, what was The Hateful Eight. That
Yeah.
Hateful Eight's great.
That's a
Epic.
good one.
That's
and then
great.
I liked really liked Django. That's a hard one to beat.
Those are both great.
Nobody ever talks about Jackie Brown. That is
I love
one of my
Jackie
favorite
Brown, but
ones.
it's like a mid runner for me.
Yeah.
Bruce Lee was
Only
played by a
because-
guy named Mike Moe.
Mike Moe.
Shout out Mike Moe.
Yeah. You're doing good work.
You know, Jackie Brown for me is like mid tier for Tarantino for me. Maybe a little.
It's notoriously underrated.
I'm
I
so
can't
sorry.
defend it, but it's just like that's the one I rock the most. I like to watch that movie every once in a while, at least once a year.
Jackie Brown.
Don't know why.
If I were to watch, what is the? I feel like my most watched Tarantino film is either Reservoir Dogs or Inglourious Basterds.
Ooh, Inglorious Bastards. That's up there for me.
See, and this is why I had to put Jackie Brown lower down on the list because like Django, Hateful Eight, Pulp Fiction, Reservoir Dogs, Inglourious Bastards. What else am I missing? I don't like Kill Bill is at the bottom of my list actually.
He wrote From Dusk Till Dawn, but didn't direct it. He directed the one half of that Grindhouse thing.
Death Proof.
Death Proof. Yeah, that one's,
Yeah,
It's
I'm not putting that.
It
on
was
the
fun
list
for what it
personally.
was.
yeah.
Kill Bill is my least favorite.
Either or both.
Yep.
Like-
well, he treats it as one. I treat
Eight
it
and
as one.
9 is not on that we're only getting 10 movies. He doesn't count it. He counts it as that the next one is the last one.
Well, he only wanted to do 9 movies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He treats Kill Bill as one. He filmed it. It was filmed as one movie, and studios told him like,
You
That's
can't-
too fucking
you can't
long,
have a 5-hour
dog.
movie, yeah.
I just don't like it. I respect it. I
It's fun. I mean, I think it's really fun to watch.
for some reason it was just lost on me.
I'm
which is
sure there's all
rare.
kind of reference. Like if you were big into kung fu movies, there's stuff hidden in there, and I know a little bit of it, but I can appreciate it. But yeah,
Yeah, it was just not for me. I know Cody loves Kill Bill.
Oh yeah.
they're good.
This is gonna be really off topic. It's not related.
No, we
That's
got it
completely
out.
fine.
We got
We
the
got it
term.
out,
Yeah,
yeah. We're
I
good.
was 2023. I watched a really good show on HBO. It's just a 1-season show, and it had Elizabeth Olsen in it.
What's it called?
Love and Death.
Love and Death is cool.
I think
Did you
you
watch that?
suggested that to me, and I
Yeah, we was
I
on
haven't
the
seen
boat at the
all
same
of-
time.
I haven't seen
Didn't
all of
watch
it,
it.
but I have seen.
Yeah, it's like based on a true story. It's like
Are you looking it up, Cody?
it's a
Have you heard of Love? Have you seen Love and Death?
it has Elizabeth Olsen in it as the main person. Jesse Plemons, he was on Breaking Bad. But yeah, they're like a church going couple, and she kind of like falls in love with another like a guy that's married to another woman, and so they're having an affair, and it leads into it's a true story, but it leads into the other woman catching on to the affair, and they get confronted one on one
spoil too much.
in a house. Well, how am I going to keep talking about it?
Some stories are like that. One of my favorite movies I can't tell you anything about because it spoils the whole thing.
it
But
is.
like
Sometimes.
but
it's about
anyway,
the
it's based on a
twist.
true story. It was like
I didn't mean to. I just don't want you to spoil the whole thing.
yeah, I don't know how to continue with it now.
Wait, hey, spoiler. Can you edit
Fuck that
this?
all up.
Edit this back 2 minutes. Spoiler alert for a show from 2 years ago on HBO.
Yeah, now can I say it?
If you listen past this point, you're gonna ruin it. You're gonna ruin
Yeah,
the
okay,
whole
all right.
thing.
Can I say it now?
Splice that in back before this. You'll be fucked. Like you'll be watching it, you'll be like, "Oh man, I bet this is gonna be cool," but I already know. And you
Yeah,
know,
what was the show you were talking about, Dylan? Now that we have the spoiler alert.
it'll be spoiled sour for you. And when you watch it, it won't feel as cool. But you can't tell them more than that. Like if they are listening now still, they're asking for it. Like
You know what? Don't even edit this. Just leave it as it is.
Oh, I totally am.
just put it
Just
back,
leave
like,
this as it
but-
stands. This is incredible.
So can I continue?
Fuck it.
I don't want to
First-
interrupt you.
No,
I don't want to ruin it.
no, you're not ruining it for
I
me.
don't want to rue the day. You know.
Oh, you'll ruin it, Dave.
I read IMDb shit before I watch it. I like spoil.
Okay,
I pre-spoil everything I watch.
They're
a movie.
having an affair, And later on through the season, the wife of the other couple catches onto it, and she confronts her with an axe. Well, she fights her off, ends up killing her, and she has to go through a whole legal court battle of self-defense over it. She ultimately wins, but it's a true story. It's a good watch.
Like, I will watch it now. You know, I wouldn't have like I was like, oh man, a great show, and like there's this twist. But I mean, I don't know. I'm weird, but I do that. Like, I'll read the trivia, and then there'll be a little spoiler alert. You know, IMDb, you're going, and it's like, don't read past this. This trivia will spoil it, and I want to know before I go.
Hey.
Yeah. You're also the guy that introduced me to Think You Should Leave.
Oh, dude,
Oh,
Thank
that
you.
show is incredible.
that guy was
Dude,
too good for Saturday Night Live,
I'm-
just like Shane Gillis.
I'm always like showing people that show, and like the other day I was showing them the clip where he's like sits down at the restaurant and he's like meets that celebrity and he starts choking on the food.
Oh, dude,
He's like, oh, he's like, oh, poppers. And he like eats it. He's like, you can't eat that. You're already choking. And he like just spits it back out of his mouth.
check out the Detroiters.
I've seen that.
Oh yeah,
I haven't actually like watched it, like put like
It was
bookmarked.
before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Speaking of things that shouldn't be spoiled, there's a movie you should both watch, and you don't fucking look it up. Watch it, don't look it up. Predestination.
Ooh, that's a solid one.
I can't tell you a singular fucking thing about it.
Not even who's in it.
Ethan Hawke.
Ethan Hawke.
You can't even like give me a summary.
It's time travel.
Yeah, I'm not watching
Well,
it.
no, I can tell you this.
Not watching it.
No.
I'll play it.
So the concept is, I can give kind of. I don't even want to say that.
It's a time travel movie.
It's a time travel movie.
I hate time travelers.
Not this one. It's got Ethan Hawke in it. Actually, it seems like 50% of people just
I'm
hate
not-
him for existing.
I don't believe in time travel
Well,
because
okay.
I'll listen. I started watching a movie called Napoleon Dynamite, and Napoleon almost got burned up when he put the crystal in.
Oh God!
Turn it up! Like smiling in the
Good
background.
stuff.
When does that wartime movie come out?
This weekend.
This weekend?
Also, The Last of Us season 2 comes out.
This
You're
weekend.
about to go on the
Yeah.
boat, aren't you?
I mean, I'm home every day. Why?
Because I was gonna say it'd be cool. You should come with me and Cody to see wartime when it drops.
Warfare.
You have to go to the
Warfare.
matinee.
When's it come
Thank
out?
you.
This weekend.
You have to go to a matinee to take. Dylan.
Yeah, I'm on
He's
nights.
on nights.
It'd be impossible because I'll be on night shift.
Watching a movie in the day, like what? Like matinee.
And I don't want to wait that long.
Don't wait. It's cool. Don't wait on me.
Just do like,
Why would
Sunday afternoon. You know, just a couple dudes just going to the matinee.
Oh, I think we're gonna go watch Lilo and Stitch. I'm gonna have to watch.
Wait,
No, that comes out in like May.
Dude,
You just gotta lean
let
into.
us go with you as a family affair.
You just
Dude,
gotta
I'm
like.
so
I'll have to end
excited
up watching
for
it
Lilo
twice.
and
Then we'll take Ella. She's really excited to see it.
Let us go with you as a group, dog.
Okay,
I'm so down. I want to see it real bad.
I'm excited.
Me too.
Yeah.
I was trying to think of the last kids movie I watched. I skipped that part. But you have to lean into it at that age. Like you're gonna watch them. But and there is good stuff. Like Toy Story 4.
All the
That movie made me cry
All the Cars
so much.
films are also bangers.
Yeah.
Also Moana. I haven't seen the second one, but the
I
first
took
one,
her to right before Athens closed.
Have you showed her Big Hero 6 yet?
No,
That's
I
a
don't think
good
so.
one.
That's a great movie.
No, I don't think I. Yeah, I don't think we watched that.
Y'all ever go to the Fun Barn?
I'm about to.
I went to the
That's-
Fun Barn recently.
It's so affordable. Like
Saw the most garbage movie I've ever seen.
what?
Minecraft.
Oh yeah.
You didn't like it?
Bane
I know
went.
everybody's like going to watch it now. Is
The
it,
It's
kids
really
are doing
stupid.
rowdy stuff in them.
see, I don't like Minecraft, so I don't think I would catch interest in it.
Yeah, it's not good. It's stupid.
Whether you have interest in the game or not, this is a terrible movie. I haven't even seen it, and I already know. That's a bad movie. And it sucks, because I like both people cast in it.
I mean, if
Yeah.
you go in with your bar on the floor, you'll have a good time.
I seen Jace Momoa like land in the advertisement, like the trailer for it, and I was like, sweet, I'm watching a Fast and Furious film, and then it hit me with Minecraft.
That's what you think of when you think of Jason Momoa?
No, I just like the other day I like turned on one of the newer Fast and Furious because it was on Peacock, and like out of the blue they just started like, yeah, we're doing this mission. I was like, man, they went from street racing to being Marvel characters overnight. It's really amazing.
It wasn't overnight. This happened over the course of 7 fucking films. You had a solid 2 out of the first 3 were for car people.
Yeah,
The
Fast, Too Furious is my favorite.
That's of the 3 original ones. It's like the least car film.
Tokyo Drift is where they lost me. They lost their way and me as a fan.
You're completely
No,
wrong.
I like Tokyo Drift.
That's the best one.
No, I mean like
That's
beyond that.
After that, okay, yeah. My bad.
Yeah, like Tokyo
That's-
Drift, they still had me. And
As
it
a
had
car
cool-
person, Tokyo Drift is the best film.
Yeah,
That, then the first one, then the second one.
Yeah.
Then the other ones are all dumpster fires.
the second one's the least about. You're right. The least about cars of the good 3
What's the one
second
where?
one is a little whack.
What's the
It's
one?
good, but
What's the one where they were like Letty died in the beginning of it or something?
either 4 or 5.
I think that was like the last one I
was
kind of
out.
enjoyed, and then it was because it still had an element of street racing in it, and then after that it was just like
I mean,
John Cena, The Rock, like
Here's my thing, man. I don't want like an element of street racing. That should be the whole focus.
oh, I agree, but like after that, it lost its way to like completely. Like after
Yeah.
Paul Walker, it really went downhill in my opinion.
What's your favorite Fast and Furious film, Cody? 0 of them.
Either the first one or Tokyo Drift.
Okay, you just saying both.
Yeah.
Then.
Yeah, I like Too Fast, Too
It's the
Furious.
easy answer,
don't
but
get me
it's the
wrong.
right one.
It was a fun movie.
I also love it, but it also, in my brain, looking at it like conceptually, sets up more towards what the franchise did become, like incrementally, if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Ejectocito, cuz.
Banger line.
I mean, it is
Paul Walker
something, it's
walking out of that
something.
building. He's like, I don't want to talk about cuz.
Nah, when you
I'm talking about cuh.
yo, Paul Walker's in cut. He's never gonna stop playing in my brain when I see his face, and I kind of hate that, but also rest in peace, big homie.
It was a gamble, but he did it. You know, like he
He did
leaned
lean
in
into
and
that.
he went for it, and it was fine at the time.
Not gonna make that joke.
Looking at it in hindsight, we're like, oh man, why did he say cuh like that? Like it's that culture. But at that moment,
It's even worse when we say it because we're all like from here.
Yeah.
Oh, God, man. Those are fucking terrible movies, bro. Not the first one or the third one. Or the second one.
Yeah. Now, yeah, like we watched like 20 minutes that were like, do you really want to watch this? And I was like, nah, turn it.
I don't know the last time I watched one.
The last one I watched fully was the last one where they had to do a lot of the CGI for Paul Walker, where his brothers came in. That was when him and, yeah, they all parted ways. After that, that was the end for me watching Fast and Furious.
Is that the one where they put Ludacris in space?
yeah,
I think so.
I don't know.
Yo, I just
Like
want to
I-
ask a question here. How
I
is
quit.
it that these people are all car fanatics and somehow they're like, fuck it, we're putting a car in space?
Yeah.
I mean, we did put a car in space.
Yeah, no. Those weren't just normal fucking car enthusiasts.
They're like,
Those were
look,
engineers.
they're like, look, we're going to take a Dodge Charger, we're going to make it badass, and we're going to hurt people's feelings at the end of it. Next film, he got it back. Basically, I like Chargers, and every time I see one get smashed, I'm like, oh,
Aside
why?
Aside from the first 3 films, there's only one good thing to come from the Fast and the Furious franchise.
What's that?
Vin Diesel getting the rights to the Riddick franchise. Yeah, that's the only other good thing. Which is also
I thought you were going to say Hobbs and Shaw.
Why the fuck would I say that? I'm offended, brother. Yeah, no. I love that like the Riddick franchise was like gonna be a dead thing, and he's like, "Look, I'll do this for the rights," and then he makes like one of the best-selling like R-rated films. Period.
Hell yeah.
Fire. Are they still doing another movie?
I don't know.
Is Riddick an anime or a graphic novel? There's like
No.
a deep. It was just movies.
Somebody just wrote Pitch Black and made it like as a movie.
I
And
thought it had like a thing. Like it was.
There is an animated film now that like is it an in-betweener? But yeah, no, it's not. It's one of those weird sci-fis that I actually think is fantastic that's based on nothing.
Well, don't let this distract you from the fact that Hector is going to be running 3 Honda Civic Spoon engines, and on top of that, he just went to Harry's and bought 3 T66 turbos with NOS and a Motec exhaust system.
I wouldn't have believed that, and I'm not even like a hardened criminal. Like if I was Vin Diesel, I'd be like, "Dude, you're like a cop for sure. Like look at what you're doing, man. Like you got a flashlight in here and shit, and we didn't even know you 3 weeks ago. Like, dude, like."
He just liked the tuna sandwiches.
Yeah.
What was his?
Tuna's not even that good.
Was it Brian Spillner?
Spillner.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know how
Sounds
the fuck
like
I
a
remember
serial
that.
killer name.
Yeah. Well, no, it sounds like a fucking cop, bro. Like that's what that sounds like.
Yeah,
But his
nobody
real,
likes
his,
the tuna.
his real name as a cop is Brian O'Connor. Yeah. Which is also like a cop a lot.
Yeah. But you call him Paul Walker. That guy likes cars.
Yeah. It's insane how like close his brothers resemble him too, because like they brought the clips to a car meet,
Yeah.
and his brother got out of it. I was like, whoa,
Did you
he
ever
looked just like him.
Did you ever see his car collection?
Yeah,
Like he was an actual car dude.
yeah.
Like that's
That's what I'm saying.
like
I
that.
hit the movie's really straight away after he was gone. And I think he was like a core
Yeah.
to the core of the movie's like, hey, I want to keep it about the cars.
yeah. Yeah, his car collection is insane, man.
Yeah.
Rest in peace. That's a shitty. Yeah.
Senior in high school.
You were?
Yeah.
How old are you? 29?
You're ready to turn 29.
So I'm like a year and a half older than you then.
Yeah.
Oh shit, I was out of high school then. How old are you?
34 and a half.
Fucking old ass.
Yeah. It's been a,
Cut throwing the half in there shows your age.
yeah.
How old are you, Cody?
32.
Yeah, you're old, Grandpa.
I'm the oldest one.
I'm the youngest one.
Oh my
It's
god.
crazy. Oh, yeah. Olin, you wanted to say something to the listeners.
Oh, yeah. If you guys ever have any like questions you want us to just answer, no matter how random or chaotic, within the realm of, don't be problematic, feel free to leave comments. We can do like fan questions at the start of episodes or at the end of episodes. Just like a fun way to get you guys involved. And yeah, whatever you want. Make it weird.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. That's going to wrap up the episode of Twisted Conversations with our guest, Colby. Definitely, I'm going to plan to have him back, and I hope you guys enjoy this episode. So we'll see you next time.